Welcome everyone. Season 2, episode 52. It is a Super Millions. It's Tuesday. It's a 10K buy-in final table. Some of the biggest names in poker, and one of the biggest names join us in the booth. My man Nacho Barbero is coming in. He's going to be calling the action today for this high intensity final table. 300,000 plus going to first. Nacho, can we bring in Nacho, please? Is he here? Is he even on time? I don't see him on the camera queue, but I believe he's here, and we are going to be speaking with him today, and we're going to be looking at the final table. And I don't know, they haven't brought you in, Nacho. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello, man. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
There he is. The camera guy was sleeping over there. I didn't cue you in, but we got you here. I'm very happy that you're here, and I know you just won a World Series bracelet. Congrats on that. So you're feeling good, and I think you won a scoop too. Is that correct?
Yeah, I won the 10K PLO. I feel very happy because I'm more like a PLO player nowadays than a no limit hold'em players.
I love it. Well, listen, today, no PLO, we are going to play. That's a great game. We're going to be playing the beautiful game of No Limit Hold'em. We got some of the biggest and brightest stars. I'm sure you're familiar with many of these players. So with no further ado, let's go to the final table. Let's see what we got. And let's hopefully do a little snake draft for a dinner. We can do a draft and see who wins and make our picks and do what we do. But guys, please, the feature table, 300,000 at first. Let's take a look at who we got at this feature table today. The boys are sleeping over there, guys. I know we're not all in the same studio, but let's get the table up, man. This is they want to see Nacho's having a good hair day. Everyone's ready to go, but let's see the action. We got some very familiar faces here. What stands out right away for you, Nacho? Who are some names that you recognize and have battled with?
Well, basically, I recognize pretty much everybody. Yeah. So I googled Mr. Bradley. I don't recognize him, but he's a chip leader, so he has the advantage. And I don't recognize the Brazilian, but I haven't been playing much online lately. So I mean, I'm some of the regs. I just don't know them. But all the rest, yeah, they're all like really good players, obviously.
Right. Well, of course, Oli Shemian. I mean, this is a guy that just seems to have such unbelievable results throughout his career. There he is right there, 3.6 million in Super Millions alone. That is one category on the site. You can see almost 8 million in earnings. How much have you played with Oli over your career?
I actually played a lot online and live, and I really think he's one of the most skilled players that ever played. He's one of the GOATs for sure. And I mean, he's such a nice guy too. I mean, it's very hard not to like him. Like he's just like the coolest guy. He's always in a good mood. I mean, honestly, he's just so amazing at poker. I mean, like he's truly. At some point, I thought he was like the best tournament player in the world. I don't know now. Maybe I will take a lot more. I don't know. Maybe it's just lately, but he's still up there. He's insane. One of the true legends of the game. So nothing you can say about.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very star-studded final table. First, before we kind of run through some more profiles, let's go red or black. Choose a flop, what you want to see, and then we'll do a snake draft for dinner. Black?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look at this. This is another very talented player friend that we all know well, Dario Sammartino, who finished second in the main event. I think he also maybe won a bracelet. He's had some big results, but obviously a great player here. Doesn't get it all in pre-flop, and ace queen to jacks. This could have been a bigger pot, but as played, he's in a good spot. And I know you know Dario very well as well. You played with him and know him off the table.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, definitely. He's really good, and he's also a really good friend. I just texted him before the final table. I was like, good luck. Yeah, I really like him. He's just an amazing person. And I mean, his resume speaks for himself. He's been crushing the game for so long. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy results, great guy as well. And black, you win the flop. So good start for you, Nacho. You are going to get to pick first for this tournament. You can go ahead and pick first, then I'll get 2 picks, then you get 2 picks, and we'll go that way. So start with a selection. Who you want to pick first?
I mean, for the chip stack, I gotta pick the chip leader, right? Yeah, probably I will have to take the chip leader. Yeah.
It's a lot. This is one of those situations where I'm actually kind of happy to go second because I'm going to pick up Oli Shemian with a very healthy 2.2 million. And I'm not familiar with Fizoka. I will go with Victor Malinowski, who has been literally, I feel like the guy is at 60-70% of final tables here. So he knows his way around the GG Super Millions final table. Look at that. 9.6 million in GG winnings and an absolute savage crusher. A lot of people's favorite player. So I will take those two and then you get to pick two.
I get to pick two. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Juan Pardo Dominguez, Malaca style. That is a really, really, really good Spanish player.
Yep.
And then I want to take Fizoka. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a really good player. I agree with him. I haven't played with him live. I played with him online, but yeah. So I take him.
Okay, and then I believe, so is that right? Do we get 1 and 1 then, or is it 2 and 1? Or how much? So what do we have? We have 9, right? So it's 9. So I went 1, 2, 2. So we have 2 and 2 left, right?
Oh, and Dario Solin on the first hand.
Oh wow, shit, Dario, big spot here. If we're gonna see a knockout or a double up, big at stake. Needs an ace or a king, or we'll be down to 8. And it is not a. Boom. That is going to be a knockout and a big pot for your man Fizoka. Of course, Dario, great player, great friend. We'll see him. Good game. The claps are out from Oli down to 9. Couple respectful good games. You see Dario, look at his that's a picture from his final table World Series main event, the Dream, getting second place for a yeah, look at this guy. I mean, he's just suave, Mr. Suave, rocking a bow tie, legend out at 9. So that okay, that saves me. I would have maybe picked him. So I guess we have 8 left, and we've done. I'm sorry, there's 8, and we've done 1, 2, 2, 5. So let's go. Yeah, we'll go 1, 1, 1. I'll take. I gotta take Mark Radoja. This guy just haunts me. And oh shit. Fuck, Pankavs is so tough too, man. All right, Radoja.
You already picked.
Yeah. All right, fine. Yeah, Alex Pankavs. I guess that's the next pick, right?
Yeah, I take Pankavs. Yeah.
All right. Well, I like to do this on the show. I like to give a giveaway for everyone watching. So how about this? We'll start with. Wow, I can't even do it. Marcelo, I'm gonna give him Marcelo for like a spin dream. The guy's against Queens with 200K. I'm gonna have to I think we're gonna have to redo it, guys. I'm not gonna put you out like that. So that's not even a real giveaway. We'll see if somehow he can win this hand, but he is in a big world of hurt. If you can see the Queens versus Queen 10, 98%. So that's gonna be hard to do. There it is. Out in 8. Look at Nacho. This is going quick. We're already down to 7. Everyone's locked up 68,000. Nice showing for the Brazilian there. Going to get 53,000. That's a lot of reais. I know you know Brazil. I know you know the currencies, Nacho, on the XE. That's about, we're looking around 250,000 reais right there. And this guy, some serious results on GG as well. Congrats for 8th place. Hope to see you again at the GG Super Million. So down to 7. Where are we at on the draft, man? So we have everyone, right?
We have everyone. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. I think you got the best part, to be honest, but it's fair. I like it. I like the challenge.
We'll play for a nice dinner. We'll figure that out. I have got to give the audience someone, guys. I appreciate you staying with us. I know this is another edition. This is on Tuesdays. You can find us here. I will be your host, Jeff Gross. This week we have Nacho Barbero, fresh off a World Series of Poker title, joining us in the booth. And who should we give them, Nacho? Let's decide. I'm gonna give a $100 free roll if we can get to 200 thumbs up or more here. I'm going to give $100 in cash if we can pick a winner. Who do we want to give them? How generous do we want to be? I'm not giving the chip leader. We can give it. I'll let you choose. Who does the audience get today, Nacho?
You let me choose. If it's for the audience, I would pick Victor. He's such a savage.
It's fun. People like rooting for him too. He is, man. He's really maneuvers off short stacks. He's got a lot of tricks, a lot of ability. Yeah. Goes for the big bluff. So that's a fun one for the audience. All right, guys, 200 thumbs up. If you are enjoying the show, if you're enjoying Nacho's hair, if you're enjoying the people here, whatever it is, if you're just feeling like hitting the thumbs up, do that. We welcome you, and it helps the algorithm. It's fun for us, and you have a $100 giveaway if we can get to 200 plus here. If you guys, if Victor can win, so a nice free roll. He's definitely one of the guys that could get it done today with a healthy stack, but a very tough lineup. I mean, these are some tough names, man. I mean, Nacho, this is literally, I think Miss Bradley as well, who has the chip lead, is a very experienced player, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Are you familiar with that username?
No, I'm not familiar with him, but he has a lot of GGPoker wins, so he's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
He doesn't have. I put it on Handomo and I didn't find like how much he has.
Well, we got an all in here. If it's not a heart or a 10, it is a 7. Clean living for Ole and Panakov's. That was a good swing for me to pick Radoja. Your guy's out. Ole gets richer. That was big. I'm already thinking about where we're gonna go. What kind of? It's a double date dinner, right? It's not me and you solo. So
I love it. In
yeah,
Miami.
a Miami dinner. It's that could get expensive. We are down quickly to 6. Of course, things are moving quickly, but also chips now deeper, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be short or long. Generally, these last around 2 hours. We do welcome you guys in. So far, it's been quick, but everyone's got some chips that is in. Mark Radoja, the only, call it, shorter stack. How familiar are you with Mark Radoja and his poker game?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar. I know him for a long time, and I played live with him, and yeah, he's definitely a really, really good player. He's been doing really, really good lately. Very nice guy too.
You know, he's cooler than me in a few of my bigger spots in my poker career, as a matter of fact. And it just seems like great players find a way to hold over. But I lost heads up for a World Series bracelet to him in 2011 in a shootout. I had
I remember
King 10. That was the closest I've got to a bracelet. And that man denied me. I got it in good. It was like 2 hands left in the night. We would have had to stop. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and it was like 13 blinds, 11 blinds all in. And he then won that, and he also won, I believe, the heads up, or he won another bracelet as well. So yeah, obviously a great player, a lot of results, and from a really, really strong poker background and group. So always fun to watch him play and see him do well. So yeah, definitely a strong player here.
And he's not even that short. He has like 18 blinds. I mean, it's like, for what I've been seeing, I've been watching all your final tables lately. I was getting prepared for this one, and I saw Victor the other day. He was super short like 2 weeks ago, and he managed to win it. Like, I mean, just maneuvering through the final table, like, like anything can happen. It doesn't even really matter that this guy has 18 blinds. Like, he gets 2 doubles and he's up there.
Look at Ole, man. King, queen off, open, ace-9 suited flat. Ole finds that spot. I mean, this guy, his timing just seems so good.
Perfect, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, he recognizes, all right, risk premium. Mark Radoja is low. He doesn't have to be bladed here. He's the shortest stack. One, not 3-betting, and like just little things, man. That's why poker's such a beautiful game. And he just seems to find every little inch. It's like he just kind of knows how to move, bob and weave, and knows what's happening in game, and just such a crusher, man. I don't want to overdo it on Ole, but I'm with you, man. He's just one of those guys that has it, right? He just, like, you see him at the table, he's just cool, he's calm, he's collected, he's got a nice vibe, and he's got 3 million chips, and he is a favorite right now, one of the favorites to take home another $300,000. So this is exciting, man. I got to say, this doesn't even feel like work, right? I mean, Nacho, I appreciate you coming on, but this is like an advanced study session. You get to see some of the best people you compete with on a regular basis and get to kind of dial in and watch what's happening. So this is definitely a very strong group of players here.
And that play from Molly is like, you don't see it that often. Like, I mean, people doesn't take the spot. I think it's super interesting what he did. Like Mark has to fold like pretty much everything. Like, he's showing like such a tiny part of his range. He looks so strong what he did that, like, I don't even know if what you do there with 9s. I mean, what you do? You shove? I think he put them on such a bad spot, you know what I mean? That it's like, it's gonna make you fold the best hand like so often that it's like, and I don't see just people taking that particular spot he just took there. And I think it was super good play, great play by him.
Yeah, no, it was. And again, like, it just like, how many times does Mark just happen to have queens or ace king and get stuffed on and fold? But the great players just seem to, whatever it is, they know and are able to wait it out and find it. So nice play there for Ole. And here we go. Get to see blind on blind, a deuce 8 suited, relatively deep all of a sudden as we've lost some players quickly. And this is those blind on blind spot. Nacho, can you maybe talk a little bit about blind on blind and poker? And if you're at home watching, it is one of the more common things in terms of poker and areas that people can work on. How do you go about approaching your blind on blind game?
For me, I've been seeing now different strategies, but I pretty much have a high frequency limp. Like I limp pretty much everything. So yeah, I've been racing like the really good hands, and I pretty much just like limp and try to trap the other ones. So because the people get out of line. By the way, I don't like here the check by deuce 4 off with a guy with 426,000. I think that's a mistake by Mr. Bradley, and I would have 4x that. He puts Victor in a bad spot, and I mean he's never continued with 8 deuce suited. He just lost 2.5 lines there that he could have been his. Like basically he has, I mean, I think he has to be really tight to be playing there. So I don't know. I just small. I would have taken a different line on his part, but like with the ICM pressure here, I kind of like it. And even though, I mean, if it was in this normal spot, you can also take like the really bad ones and put it into race. So I don't think it was. He didn't even consider. He just checked back. That I think. What do you think? I mean,
yeah, I think that is those are the I think that's part of it too. It's like he may generally go with the strategy, and that's why I love poker so much, because given the stacks, given the look at this stuff. I mean, we see a nice 3-bet, and then this is like he might know at home. He's got the fans on his back, and he's in there. He's two-stepping. Unbelievable stuff here, man.
He's really the king of this tournament, Victor. It's like I watch every final table. He's in every final table. It's not even normal.
I'm telling you, I got to see a stat. Like the guy has to be at some. It must be the most, because like I see his name every week. I get sent the list, and I'm like, oh, is this oh, they sent me a previous week, because I see like 2 or 3 of the same names. But this guy, absolutely insane. So you guys are sweating for $100.
Honestly, with Victor, I go to check if I'm seeing if he's. Sometimes because you see, like, for example, on Poker News, and I say sometimes I read the previous week, and it's always him. It's like, am I reading the right week? He's always there. Like, or maybe I read the past week. No, he's still there. Like every week.
Yeah, it's impressive, man. And there it is, another nice maneuvering by our hero for the day. You guys are rooting with him. If you want to win $100, please hit that thumbs up, and we will figure out that giveaway later in the show. We have rewarded several winners in the past week. So a $200 giveaway, $300 giveaway. Start with the 100. Let's see what happens. And we got Ole Shemian in a interesting spot here. He's got a gut shot and pretty big sizing from
yeah, he bet pot. I mean, nothing. I kind of like that play by Victor. Like, he defines the hand pretty easily, and like he doesn't get check raised too often. Like there, like let's say the other guy would like he has whatever. Like let's say he's like less likely to be check raising you with 7-9 or like maybe Jack 9. Those are the combos. And like he betting pot there from under the gun. He doesn't. It's very not appealing now. Now you have to put like 600K to check raise. I mean, do you do it? I mean, now the CPR gets like 1 on the turn. I mean, the people just like maybe flats, even folds. It's a good spot. I like the Victor bet. He's so good. Those sizings he makes all the time. Like he's just like he puts you on the spot that you're like, what do I do now? What do you do?
It's honestly, it's fun to watch. And here we go. Look at this. Though Radoja is going to catch a double up here and keep in the game. So ace jack suited, king 8 off. Can't really blame it. Blind on blind. This is definitely something that, that's a reasonable stuff. You're not going to see too many punts, right? You're not going to see too many just completely insane out of line plays. It's fun to watch creative moves, but pretty standard stuff there. And Radoja is back in the game. Still the short stack, but has almost 20 blinds. So as you mentioned before, it's plenty of play.
Yeah, it was pretty standard, I think. I don't think he can ever fall there. I think he's showing worse kings for sure. He's showing 8-9 suited, 8-10 suited, queen 8 suited. He's kind of, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's kind of breaking even as he's pushed there. Like, so I think it's like super standard, the call. I would also.
I want to ask you about your mood on a given day when you approach some of these final tables. You just won a World Series bracelet. I mean, how many years have you been playing poker? I know you have some LAPT titles, some big awards, but to actually get that bracelet, how good it feels. And when you go there, like at some point you have 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 final tables at a World Series, right? When do you say to yourself, like, all right, today I'm going to go and I'm going to ICM ladder, or today I'm just going to go for it? Like, how do you decipher and go in that? Or you just always try to play your best and get the most money and then see what happens? Cause like, is it a mental thing, right? After a while, cause it's like, all right, the money's cool, or I could win a little more. Or maybe I don't take a close spot, or I do. How do you decide on a given tournament, or let's take that World Series final table that you won just now?
Honestly, I mean, I disagree a bit with like what is standard, like what people think usually like in tournaments. I always just play for the win. I don't even look at the payouts, to be honest. I mean, I know it sounds kind of weird. I obviously look at the payouts, but in my head, I just want to get the first place. I mean, so I'm not trying. I never did it, and that's why I got so many first places like on my career, like because it's just like I just play for first, and then whatever. If I bust, I bust, but it's just gonna, because it's. I mean, all the tournaments are so heavy price on the first 4 spot anyway. That I prefer like like just like playing like whatever I have to do to get first, and if I don't get first, whatever like it's okay. Let's put it this way: what does it change your life at 20K, a 20K jump, or it's like, or a 300K jump?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it that way. I mean, like I'm gonna be the same person. You know what I mean? But yeah, we want 200 or 300K more. You're like, oh, this is actually cool. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I've been always like that in every tournament forever. I just look at the first prize, and I just try to do my best to get it. Obviously, there are like close spots, and I have to make a decision. Yeah, obviously, I'm gonna think about ICM, but in general, my opinion is like, don't just to like, and I also really, I mean, for this World Series, I really think it's like you gotta be really on a good mindset on through the whole summer to be like to be able to put those kind of hours of grind. That I mean, I played like all the events. I didn't skip one day pretty much. So I was just there on the sun. I didn't go out once, and it was the most boring World Series for me. And I had like so many deep runs, and I was super happy of what I did. And you see, when you put that time, I would wake up every day. I would go to cryo chamber. Then I would go to the gym. I would come to the tournament. I was like so in the zone in every tournament. I had like so many like top 10, top 20s, top series, I mean, I had so many close ones. But it was just like, as I was there, I was just really putting the time, like some other World Series, you're like there more like, yeah, I want to spend more time with my friend. Maybe I go out, maybe I do this. I mean, and it's just like, at the end of the day, it's just, you're like losing EV for sure.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, I mean, I think that we can all agree there's been different times in our careers where we're more focused, less focused. Go there, you're kind of in a party mindset, or you're in a whatever mindset, or you go through the motions, or maybe you have a good cash game you can play later. You're like, oh, I'll play not my best, but when you're playing your best, when you're focused and doing the right things, it makes a big difference, because poker is a sport, right? It's hard. There's guys, great players, people are doing good fitness, good mental activities, not being distracted, not being on their phones. And that stuff adds up a lot at the highest level if you want to compete. So there's no question about it.
Yeah, it's no question. Like, for example, I barely didn't play cash. I'm more like a cash game player now. And I was like, every time I was going to play cash, and a private game, I would drink, and I was like, the next day I was like off my schedule, was like, even though the caching was amazing, I was playing, it was insane. It was like one of the best I played. I did really good too, but I just realized like being, like on a healthy mindset, like doing like, and you feel better too, like, I mean, I love to go there and play a caching and drink and have fun with the girls, but at the end of the day, it was like costing me so much to recover the very next day that I only put like 8 cash sessions in the summer. Like it wasn't like you have to like put it on the balance what is best for you.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's also another thing, right? Like, you have to weigh it out. Like, does it make more sense? Maybe it isn't to be present on your phone. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like this is life or death and you put your phone away and you're just not talking to anyone, or maybe you're a businessman, or you have things that are going on that are important to handle in the meantime. So it teaches own. And I think it's always interesting, but I do notice that these guys that are the absolute top 0.01% players that you know, at the highest level, you got to be willing. You're buying in 50K, 100K, 25K, 10K here. You know, you want to be focused. You don't want to be on your cell phone, playing on the app, mowing the lawn and taking, you know, with your 3-year-old hanging out and playing a game while there's stuff going. You got to pay attention to every hand. So let's hop into action here. We see this is again, better position, same hand. This is generally going to reward the player, but look at this call. Is that, I don't have that in my playbook, Nacho. Are you check calling the jack eight off on the king four deuce? I mean, I don't have it. I don't have that one.
No, definitely not. He probably, honestly, what I'm gonna say to you right now is he picked up something about the sizing of Oli. Oli bet like 75% of the flop on a king four deuce rainbow board. I don't think like the solver has that sizing in that board. There is nothing he does, so he pretty much thinks he has complete error. That's why he's doing that, and that's why he peeled to bluff. So think about it. I mean, like, what is he doing? 75%. He has a king. What? No, he doesn't have a king. He has a 4. He's betting 75%. No, he doesn't have a 4. He doesn't have a deuce. So he puts him in like a hand, like completely like 9-8 suited or something like that with a backdoor. I'm pretty sure it's exactly what he's thinking. He's so good that he did it to bluff. He caught the 8. He got unlucky because he would have won the hand otherwise.
Right. Yeah, right? It's crazy. It's exactly. And then he even gets a little night that sizing on the river. It's so savage too, right? The blockers kind of just like little bet, you know, it's like, he
went 10 he bet 10%, right? Yeah. He bet 10% on the river. Yeah. He made the bet, like, so the other guy calls with ace high probably sometimes. Yeah, maybe some queen highs. I don't think so, but
they say Miss Bradley's only 21 years old, allegedly, and playing with some of the biggest names in the game here today. This is fun, man. Poker is alive, and here we go. We got a nice pot here. Juan Pardo Dominguez is going to be in here with a pretty good spot, although it's a dicey board here. Guys going post flop, and very interesting hand here. Always got some decisions to make.
I was going to tell you, I kind of like really small bets here. You're going to get called by worst a lot, like ace queen suited, queen jack suited, like ace 10, ace jack, ace queen, all those hands that he should be having. And then you have a pretty easy hand to play afterwards. He probably is going to just check now, and it's like the hand plays by itself. I don't think he's going to get too crazy on it. 5-4, 2 diamonds. It's like Juan also has all the suited hands that he raised under the gun. I think this hand is going to go check, and he's going to maybe pray that he also hits too much the queen for Oli. Like, he has so much king queen or like ace queen that he 3-bet. Maybe sometimes queen jack suited that he doesn't want to call. So I think Juan has a pretty easy check, or like a very, very small bet here, trying to get value from like. I think I would just check. Okay, very small bet. That's the other option. And I think Oli's gonna call. The odds are too good, even though he's not beating anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so fun at this level, right? Because guys are so in tune to what the other player really has or their range that they're able to do things that may look funnier. You know, that's what I try to tell people, especially on the show, right? You know, don't try some of this stuff at home and a $5 rebuy or a $10 whatever. This is the highest of the high level players, and they all know each other so well, and they're just so in tune to what the other player has. But it is fun to watch how the bet sizing is just such a big part of poker that, like, you're just always learning, evolving, and the game changes. And it's really fun to see how these players contour their game and what they're trying to get done on a given street. And look at this. Well done by Mr. Dominguez getting a little value bet against one of the best in the world there. So very, very nice.
I kind of like what he did, because like he doesn't, after that line, even if maybe ace queen he will raise on the river, but I don't even think like king queen raises there on the river, or maybe he does. These guys are too good. I don't know. So it's kind of a blocking bet, and maybe sometimes he get called by ace king there. I think it was really, really well played by Juan. He was also well played by Oli. Oli didn't do anything wrong. I mean, the hand played by itself. He actually lost really, really little for what it could have been like that hand on a 3-bet pot.
Yeah, they're just impressive. Well, here we got king nine and ace deuce off. All of a sudden has a 0% and quite a card for Juan Prado Dominguez. Let's see if Victor continues to tell a story, or if he just kind of says, you know what, this is a tricky one to get through. So if he does go
check, I mean, if he would have like queen jack or jack, I mean, wow, this is
when he started tanking for a while, it did feel like he's going to put a good size. Yeah, it wouldn't be a small bet though. It's a healthy bet, and he is betting right into the top of the range here for one. So let's see. I mean, just seems to make sense. Just a call, of course, and a pretty clean river. No ace, no nine, no heart. And now he has got a, you know, this is interesting. Very interesting. Not a lot of money in the middle here.
It's kind of interesting because some people, some players, I mean, they lead there with the king. So Victor is thinking, does he always have the king here, or he might just put like a big bet trying to target the 8, or like maybe jack 10 suited at the other guy, or jack 10 off, but he's gonna just check it. I like the check actually.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, he actually has he's obviously not good majority of the time, but there is maybe a chance that his opponent had jack queen or some kind of heart combo draw or something that he was ahead of, and like he's not going to get a king to fold. So yeah, I like the discipline there on the river. But you know, he's one of those guys you're at the edge of your seat because you know he could just unload, right? He could just really go for it at any point and put people in the cage. We've seen him do some pretty miraculous and heroic plays. So definitely not a guarantee what's going to happen there, but nice pot. Again, Juan Pardo Dominguez chipping up very nicely.
Oh, wow. Look at this flop. It's going to get, if he's so with the lead, I love it. This is a good play because he's going to find a lot of resistance like there from the under the gun. Let's say the under the gun has queens, jacks, like, and all the other rest of the hands the under the gun has, they're like, he's just never gonna get it bet on the flop. So let's say he has ace queen, king queen, ace king, anything. He's always checking that flop. But now he has queens, jacks. He has in like aces, kings. He has in like in the worst spot ever. He's just gonna take all his stack all the time. I think it's a really interesting play.
Yeah, and Miss Bradley with top 2 there with the lead out, gotta believe going to be the best hand almost always, right? Even could be some value hands like 9-5 suited or 8-5 suited that just has crushed, but maybe has a decision if wants to raise or not. But as played, is just going to call. And here, I mean, not the nuts anymore, but 6-7 still looks really good.
That's the most exciting turn actually. So I think it's just now that guy actually can save him money. It's like now he has just an easy call, nothing he can do on the turn. I think that guy is very good with him. He would have got like maybe loses way more like at use at 3 or 4. He's still gonna lose a lot. He's probably just gonna call because the other guy has no spades, so he's not blocking any. He has 2 diamonds. Basically, like the other guy can have, I don't know, like some leads, like worse lead, even like he can have like 9-5, 8-5. You can have like ace-7 of spades. I mean, I don't know, like I'm trying to think ace-6 of spades, like jack-10. But wow, look at this sizing, chef. Now into that, he's gonna raise, I think. You have to.
Yeah, you got to you kind of look at like a check. You treat this sort of as a check if you have a value hand on the river when someone bets this sizing. And the thing is, it'll probably be a healthy raise, and then I guess, you know, Fizzoka will just call, right? Because he does not have the nuts anymore, but he will still feel pretty good. Can kind of take away 10-7, right? That Miss Bradley doesn't have 10-7 on the river. So it's kind of like queen 10 suited or nothing.
What a hand by Fizzoka. What a
Look,
beast.
man.
I love this
This
guy.
is a treat. I honestly love it. I absolutely, this is fun, man.
Sorry, GG. I won't be playing any of these 10Ks. These guys are too good for me. I'm gonna stick to my PLO games.
Yeah, I will say this is a high level. Also, though, there are some satellite winners. We think there's $100 even less ways to get into the 10K, but you're right. I feel like this is I definitely don't want to be flicking it in against Victor and Ole and Bizoka. There's some very impressive play, and we got the whole cards face up. It's kind of hard to know what they're going to do in certain spots, and these guys are so creative and seem to just really have a. I start seeing this a lot more, the small bets on the river, right? Like really putting people in some frustrating, tough decisions. And we saw Miss Bradley get a very difficult situation there. I mean, you can't fault him for playing his hand how he did.
No, the hand play itself, but now think about what Fisoka is thinking right now. Okay, he has 6-7, right? So what are the other guys' hand? The other guy has 8s, he has 9s, he has king, queen of spades, he has all the busted flushes. So he just played it perfect. He bet like 160 on the river. So the guy is like, if he has the hands, he might turn them into a bluff. And if he has the other value hands, he's gonna still raise. Like exactly what happened. So it's like a win-win situation. I mean, it was amazing. He just played it like if he's seen the other guy cards. Because what you do, like maybe they're like, maybe not, but maybe he has like, I don't know, king queen or like king queen of spades, and it's just like goes for it, or like ace 10 of spades, and he's just like that. They're all like pretty much on the calling range there from the bottom.
Yeah, it's true. Look at this board. Very interesting. Top pair, queen jack suited versus king 10 off, and Radoja's got a pretty cool hand here. A very key club in his hand. Also has a gut shot and an over. So this is a interesting spot. If he a little surprised, but I guess calling's not a great option. So he kind of has to decide. Are you surprised by the fold, or do you think for that sizing that?
No, I was gonna tell you in game that I would fold there. The 10 of clubs. I would be more like. I mean, I like it way more if you would have been the king of clubs. Like the 10 of clubs is not enough. You're gonna be on the spot that you hit the club on the river and you don't know. I mean,
right.
Even the jack of club. I mean, you still don't know. They're like. I rather like he has a good stack, 20 blinds. You gotta be guessing.
Yeah.
This guy is too good, Fisoka. I mean, I don't know. He's gonna bluff you off of the best hand many times. I just think it's perfect fold from him. It's like very standard. I like the way everything he did on the hand. These guys are playing amazing, by the way. So I like it. It's a really happy you invited me to be commentating. It's like what you say is like it's a masterclass.
It is. This is honestly like pound for pound. This is we've seen some very strong Super Millions final tables, but this particular 6 remaining, it's just all world class, and it's just hard to call, right? It's really hard to call, obviously, distribution situations and what happens and how the chips shake. But yeah, no easy task for everyone. And we see Juan again. Juan, money's got to be on Juan right now. He's making trips. He's getting people betting into him, and here he goes with another trips. And Fizoka, the good news is doesn't have too much, but does have a gut shot. So this is it's not really a big action card here, right? It would either be a jack, would be the big action where he would make his straight and be winning. But other than that, we see a big bet, man. Juan Pardo, how do they? People just want to bluff this guy. Look at this. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Pot size bet on the turn.
Yeah, basically he bet so small on the flop. He bet 1.2 blinds, and like what he's targeting now is like ace high. Now he has a pretty easy check back. Nothing's gonna happen now. I wonder what happens if the queen of diamond doesn't come. I mean, he does have like the backdoor diamonds, but he's After they call you there on the king 9-9, like I think the hand is pretty much over unless you hit the jack. I don't see people bluffing that spot. When the other guy has exactly what he has, he had the king or the 9, and it's way too ambitious, I think. But I like the play. I think it was totally fine. He let all the ace highs, like he's blocking the gut shots and like the queen jack, the queen 10. But I mean, yeah. So he's making you fold maybe all the ace highs and queen jack and queen 10 and jack 10. So I think it's not too bad.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, these guys right back, new hand, and no one has anything, as we know, in no limit hold'em, a lot different than PLO or some other games where you can make pairs and it's just easy to hit. No one has a pair here. Queen 7 is known as a computer hand heads up. Queen 7 suited, pretty good hand, no blind on blind, and is actually the best hand. And for this sizing as the action played, I mean, yeah, it's can't blame him for folding. Probably pretty close, but in general, aggression is rewarded, and we saw that the blinds up to 25K, 50K. Mark Radoja will bow out, and we see a pair of threes on the button for a 2.2 open, and Ole with the 5-3 suited deep enough does call and actually hits the 5, so he has the best hand currently if he's able to hold on. How do you approach these spots? Low pairs in position, like to see like a small bet here, the quarter pot, try to fold out some random hands and then just take a free turn, or I see more players checking back now in spots like this than betting.
I think you can go both way. I mean, your hand kind of needs a little. I mean, you succeed a lot by making them fall like hands that they have many good turns. But if I bet, I would bet like 25% or check. I think it depends the player. I'm pretty much. It depends. It depends a lot, but I either bet 25% or check 100%. That's my frequency there. So yeah. It depends who's on the big line, I mean, how do I feel like it is? I mean, you don't have any clubs in your hand. I think I would be more like, I can have more an argument for checking back threes with a club than like, so maybe if I'm going to bet 20%, I bet the threes with no club and I check back the threes with clubs. So I just put it like randomized like that. And I think it's fine either way.
Yep. I like that. Makes sense. All right. So here we go. Ace, king, ace, jack off. Fairly deep and a good hand, 6-handed versus the open from Miss Bradley. Let's see what he's going to go with. It goes with the 3-bet, and Miss Bradley has to like it. But at the same time, right, we're 6-handed, 87,000 guaranteed, 300,000 up first. Kind of a big, not ideal to get it all in and be in a flip, for example. So this is kind of tricky off of the stack size what to do, although ace king a very powerful hand.
He has 40 big blinds. I think he has to go with it. So I think he's gonna 4-bet here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing. Now Juan is the second in chip, and he has like a wide 3-betting range. He's picking a lot of momentum. Honestly, I mean, I would like to see more like a 4-bet there, but you can't blame for showing for big blinds with ace king.
Yeah, I think also ace king suited, ace king off. Maybe he might ace king suited, but again, it's a game of inches at that point. I don't think, yeah, like you said, can't really be too wrong to just stick it in there. We are seeing Juan Pardo disconnect. Actually, looks like he's had some issues before because he only has 20 seconds, or actually it looks a disconnect for 20 seconds. I don't know about his shot clock. You see the chess clock there. Every player starting with 15 minutes at the final table. We have seen that come into play where players use time, and at the end it does turn into getting 5 seconds per action, but so far so good. Everyone looks okay, and Juan looks like his stack is back.
He's gonna shove here. He's gonna pass. Really unlucky for him. But maybe he gets lucky, but I mean, nothing he can do.
It's Mark Radoja. I'm his good luck charm. I promise you. I wouldn't count him out. Maybe a chop pot. Maybe hit some diamonds. Maybe, who knows? Maybe even gets a fold somehow. Look at this. Look at this guy. Some guys can do it, Nacho. Some guys can do it. I see you kind of quivering there. You would have been looking him up for that, right?
Oh, that has to be wrong. That's 100% the call, I think. I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm actually sure that's 100% a call. I mean, he didn't even think about it. That surprised me even more. Besides, like, he doesn't even affects him that much stack wise. So he's gonna have like still 35 lines. Yeah, I mean, it could be close actually. I mean, it could be close. It could be closer than I think actually. What do you
Yeah,
think,
I
Chef?
think I think it is close. I mean, it's very close. Like you start thinking about what he's shoving. The thing is, though, he is the shortest, right? Mark Radoja, the risk premium I like talk about, like so he can
He has,
shove kind of wider
he
there,
has to shove queen 10 suited. He's shoving queen.
right?
I'm sure he's shoving jack 10 suited. He's even probably even sometimes shoving 10-9 suited. I mean, he's definitely showing king jack suited, king 10 suited 100%. He's the shortest stack. I mean, what is he gonna do? He's still gonna show those. I mean, I'm I'm pretty sure he has to show king 9 suited. He might put queen 9 suited. You're dominating so much of the showing range there, and you're flipping against all the pairs. You're like,
Wow.
you have really, really, really very tiny bad scenarios. I think he's gonna find a fault. This guy is a wizard. Victor is a super wizard.
Yeah, I mean, he just got shipped in there. He hits a dream card. He has a 9 of spades. You know, does he think about some bluffs? What his opponents in the big blind could have some like king 7 off or some kind of 7x here, or does he somehow have, you know, king of spade with a day? You start looking for bluffs. He's thinking about it, but it's for his tournament life, and this is a big spot for the audience as well, guys. We are rooting for Victor. If you want to win a $100 giveaway, hit that thumbs up. We welcome you in. Thank you. Let us know where you're watching from. And will Victor make what? I always was saying Victor, but it's Victor, right? But it's a W Malinowski.
Yeah.
What is the W? Is it just pronounced Victor, but it's Victor? Or like
I don't know, but he's such a nice guy. I mean, I've been playing with him a lot in Vegas on the cash games, on the private games. And it's just like, he has like the best attitude. It's just, he never complains about a hand. And he's just like, he's like always in a good mood. He's just having fun every day. And it was amazing. Oh no, Victor, the fan favorite.
wow.
He found the bluffs.
Wow. He found enough, and my man goes out just under. He's looking to get around 10 million in GG poker winnings. In tournament earnings, it is going to go out there 3.6 million. One of the more impressive resumes for the GG Super Millions. I'm sure not our last time seeing this man at the table. And again, absolute great guy, and just good news for everyone else to see a tough player go out. Everyone is over 6 figures, 112,000 locked up, 5 remain. And guys, I'm feeling generous today. Nacho's got me in a good mood, and I'm going to give you guys Mark Radoja. We need to get to 300 thumbs up. $200. I'm going to bump up the stakes. My last time, I'm not budging more though. So I'm telling you guys, if we get to 300 thumbs up right now, get active in the chat. How many are watching, man? We got 1,200 people, Nacho. Like, how hard? If you're having a good time, if you're feeling a good day, hit that thumbs up. Root for Mark Radoja, the short stack, $200 cash giveaway coming if we can get to 300. Appreciate you guys being here with us, and we will say a new champion potentially today at the Super Millions. 300,000, Nacho. Did you ever think you would see tournament poker back in the day? We started around the same time, 2003, 2004, you know, seeing on a Tuesday, $300,000 cash rewarded for a poker tournament online. Was that ever in your wildest dreams 10, 15 years ago?
No, not at all. When I started playing, the biggest stake was I think it was 15-30 limit. And it was 1-2 no limit. So definitely I didn't think back then. And like the Sunday Million was paying, I mean, it wasn't even a Sunday Million, it was a Super Sunday actually. So it was like, it was so small compared to, I actually won it back then, and I won like, I chopped and I won like 70,000 for winning like the tournament with the most people and like the most players and everything. And it was like, and now you see every tournament has like 70K for first in GG. It's like amazing. I'm a big fan of this site. Honestly, I think what they've been doing, it's amazing. I love playing here. And I just basically don't even play in any other sites anymore. It's not like, I'm not just saying it. I mean, I played obviously, I mean, the big scoop at the end, but I was every day just like I mean, when I was playing grinding, I had like way more tables here. Like the warranties are way better. I think it's softer. I mean, everything's just better, and like the user experience. So yeah, even even the rake back they give you is better, like everything, like in terms of like for a player. So I mean, I just go. I mean, honestly, I'm not grinding like I'm not grinding. I just randomly play online, but whenever I do, I just go for wherever I feel like the softest field is. I mean, I don't want to be playing against all regs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, again, obviously I'm biased. I'm an ambassador for GG and I love it. And I haven't been playing a lot online because I've been not in a place where I've been able to play in the last months, but I know they have huge series coming up. And I think that's pretty much across the board. People say that just kind of the clear front runner online, not that close for all the things you mentioned, but either way, 300,000 getting awarded on a Tuesday afternoon. We will be back for more Super Millions Tuesday action next week. Got a special guest for you guys as well, so please be tuning in. And in the meantime, though, we will play to a winner today and see who gets it done. And Ole been pretty quiet in the last little bit, and Fizoka has not been quiet. He's got 5.4 million and really chipped up and getting some good situations, good boards, and has another pretty interesting spot here. And if you're Miss Bradley, you like the flop, right? You got King Queen, 2 overs, got a club there, and definitely could be.
I like the check. They have too many good turns. If I may miss Bradley, perfect. Very good. That got check raised, by the way, by Fisoka. And he has the flash draw and like backdoor straights, and he has only 10 high flash draw. I think it's like a big succeed if he just takes it down there. So if he would have bet, I think that's one combo I would check raise. I would be more likely to call like with ace high flash draws and king high flash draws and like. So wow, he checks back on the king. Interesting. Now he has an easy call. I mean, he didn't lose much on the hand. He can maybe find a fold here. I don't think, but nah, he's never gonna fold. Never falling. Yeah, it's impossible to fall there for one.
Yeah, interesting hand.
Interesting. The check on the turn to induce. I like it. Sick is. It would have been the same, I guess. You check there on the turn.
I don't think so. I do like that check on the flop, as you mentioned. You know, you're gonna that range for the big blind. You're gonna get check raised a lot, and you still have some pretty good showdown value. You know, he almost maneuvered it perfectly. Got a little unlucky, obviously, with the run out, hitting king and then a club. But yeah, the check on the flop, I do like. I think that's a big lesson too. A lot of people aimlessly just see bet, right? Oh, like I have king queen, I have a club, I'm gonna bet. But you really put yourself in a bad position. You're gonna, everything matters. Every chip matters. Every spot matters.
Chip matters. Besides, yeah, the guy there, like let's say he has 5 deuce suited with backdoor, 5-6. He might even check raise you with 5-7. You're folding the best hand all the time, like to a check raise there. Like, I mean, you're just like, I think it's really, really bad if you bet. So just take your free card, see a turn, see a 10, a jack, a king, queen, like an ace. It's all yours. I mean, it's just gonna win way more often. Fisoka is playing great, by the way. I mean, he's savage. He has made everything perfect. Like didn't make one marginal or questionable decision so far.
Yeah, he's been impressive for sure. And of course, chip stack backs it up. Mark Radoja. Oh, that's funny. My man says, Mr. Escort says that Miss Bradley has avatar on PokerStars with me drinking coffee. I am drinking coffee right now. I don't know if that's respect or he's trolling or what, but either way, Miss Bradley, cheers to you, brother. I'll take it. Whatever it is, I all good, man. Thank you for the support and good luck to you today. He's got 2 million chips and locked up 112,000. I hear he's a 21-year-old young crusher. So good luck to him.
Yeah, he got really unlucky. He had two really unlucky spots against Fisoka that he's nothing you can do. Like the 9-8 suited on this one. So he's also playing really good. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it's just sometimes the other player runs a little bit better than you and you're like, okay, nothing you can do. It's just like you get cooler by the deck, like the 8-9 against 6-7, and you just have to lose a lot of chips.
Yeah, I mean, look at here. This is top pair, and the guy hits the gin off the 4 ball on the turn to make the straight. So this is also a spot where, this is again a spot where bet sizing is so key, putting your opponent on something, understanding what's happening and understanding what kind of value you can look at, right? If your opponent does have a 6 or an 8 or, an 8 here, like how are you going to be able to fold? So if you bet 60% pot or 70 or 100, you are leaving money on the table with the particular sizing. So this is, let's see, Miss Bradley can't love this all of a sudden though, right? I mean, it's like, all right, I got top pair, but it's definitely dicey and now potentially saving him some money.
Yeah, that card definitely saved him money. Now he has an easy fold on the river. He's not even beating now 8-6. He's losing against 8-5. I mean, if you want to find hands you're beating in this hand, you're gonna find them. You're gonna find it. But I don't even. I mean, the hands you're gonna find that you're beating. Let's say you think the other guy has King 8. He's never sizing it that way on the turn. Let's say he has Queen 8. He doesn't size it odd, I think, on the turn. He might, but he's not gonna evaluate sin. Those hands are not evaluating in his hand. So I just think that the 7 is saving him money. He bet is so small though that I think he's gonna fold anyway. But
yeah, it's tricky though, as you mentioned. There are some potential hands that could be. It's just not comfortable, right? It's like you start thinking, am I over folding too much if I fold here? I mean, it's of course there's a lot of hands he can come up with to beat him now. But let's see what he does come up with. And also, game flow, right? It's a little frustrating. You have king, queen, you have top pair on the turn. The guy hits the club. Things are kind of getting away. You're chip leader. Now you're it's going the other direction. This is a very important pot here, right? If you were to call and win versus call and lose or even just fold, it's a big difference in his stack size at this final table. So I like the size from Juan Pardo Dominguez, and I am not envying Miss Bradley's spot here. This looks very tricky, very tough decision.
yeah, it honestly looks. I honestly think that Juan, let's say he has like a hand, like what are the hands he's bluffing with? 7-9 suited. I mean, he would check the river. If he had 9-10, he got there on the river. He basically, I mean, the 5 got there on the river that he was bluffing. So I think it's a really good fold. Like, makes a lot of sense.
Okay, well, here we do see a raise and Radoja king queen suited as the shortest stack. Knows Ole is capable of opening up here without the absolute goods, and Ole is pretty high up in his range. And I mean, for this price, of course, and with his stack size, we are going to see 5. Almost no scenario where we don't. Relatively quick call, I gotta imagine. There we go, and we are 1.2 in the million. Radoja, your people's champ, can he stick around? He's gonna need some help. Ole does pair that ace right away, and that is it, guys. That is it. A queen does come, but it's not enough. 2 aces are in the bin. Good game from Miss Bradley, and Ole feels the running hot Negreanu. He is feeling good about it because we are down to 4, and there he is, Radoja. He's holding up some trophies, won a lot of things. Looks like PLO in that shot. 4 cards, a beautiful game, and almost 7 million on GG Poker earnings. So, Mark, again, respect. I always think about you in my sleep about not having a bracelet, losing that, heads up. But a worthy competitor. You're a great player and another great score. Congrats on a 6-figure day. And we are 4-handed. So King Jack 7s, Juan Pardo Dominguez with the bottom 2 pair, and Ole not much going on with 7s. Right, those bet half pot, take it down.
Yeah, nothing to do there. It's just
I noticed I haven't really in the last like month or so of these, we haven't really seen like a runaway winner where we've gotten to see someone just like bulldoze 3-4-handed. There was like a couple times and the chip shook out differently. It's relatively stayed, and we see Fizzoka separating a bit, but even so, right? Like Ole and Juan have big stacks. He can't just start like putting a massive pressure on. Even here, it's still relatively balanced 4-handed, and these players are fairly deep.
I gotta be telling you, not about the bet, but I like a true degen. I bet on Fizzoka and Ole to win. This feature you have on GG that you can bet the players. I also bet on Victor, and I also bet like very small on Dario. And I think I also bet like very, very small on Mark, because he was like 28 or 28 to 1 or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, final table betting is fun.
I had to. I was gonna be here with you. I was like, this is a perfect spot.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's fun, and it's always nice to have a little something on it. And as we see, these guys are playing very well. So this is hard one to call. Hard to know who's got the edge here. And again, how extensive do you think the notes are? Like Fizoka and Ole Shemian and Juan Pardo and Mr. How well do they know each other? How intense are the notes? Like you said on that one hand, maybe Victor picked up on a bet size maybe for Ole on that spot. Like how deep do you think the notes go and understanding of each other's games?
I think the way, I mean, it depends how many tables they're playing, honestly. They might wouldn't know, but I think in game, they're playing 8 tables on a Sunday. I mean, I think it's kind of sometimes hard to be like writing notes on everybody, but they might do it. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I just think like that particular hand of like Victor, he just picks up on the sizing that he knows, like, okay, bro, listen, I don't believe you. I mean, what do you have here? I know you have 9 high or whatever, like 10 high or something. I mean, there is nothing makes sense of what you're betting right now. So he just goes for like the texture of the board and he says like, okay, so he started like deconstructing the range. He say like, okay, he's never betting 75% with the king. He's never betting 75% with the 4. He's never betting 75% with the deuce. He might do it sometimes with like maybe 7s, 9s, or something like that. Even though, I mean, if he calls, he can bluff those hands on the river. You know what I mean? He's calling 75% on the flop. What does he have? You know what I mean? He doesn't have ace high, so his hand is basically a king or maybe like a really good 4 with a backdoor, like ace 4 suited. So, this is like a level game. I mean, he say, oh, you made a mistake on the sizing on that flop. Okay, I'm gonna exploit it. That's exactly what he did, because he was gonna win the hand a lot of the time. King 4 deuce rainbow, who bets 75%? Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah. Exactly. So he pick up on that one and say, oh, perfect. I have a spot to make 5 blinds, 6 blinds. It's just like.
Right. And a trivial though for them, 99 or 97% of the population are just snap folding, like whatever, right? I have Jack 8 high.
Whatever I have Jack high here. What am I doing? He doesn't even have backdoor straights because he was a king 4 deuce. He has Jack 8. It would have made more sense if you think like if you have Jack 10 that you can like pick up some equity on the turn. You pick up like a 9 or a queen or whatever. Like, it just makes more sense now. The guy is just like, oh, okay, you made a mistake on the sizing. I'm gonna go for it. It's just like, but that you gotta. I mean, people have to understand that Victor is like literally for for a long time he was like the best. I mean, I don't know if many people say he was. Many people say not, but he was the best no limit player or heads up in the world. I mean, so he has those things like that edge. You saw it like 2 weeks ago when he was playing. I mean, I watched the whole final table and he was just like destroy them like to another level. Like you see like what's going on. Does he know the cards they have? He has like something like it's not even normal what he was doing. So, but the guy is just too good, So he's in another level. It's just obviously all these guys are like they're like the best tournament players, but the other guy is just like as good as it gets playing no limit hold'em heads up situations. So I mean, he definitely has an edge.
Right. Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm like, I love watching these. It makes me exciting, like understanding like what you can kind of strive for and how much work and effort and different things you can do. But it also, like you said, it is a bit some of these guys are just so tough, right? You just know how good they are and how well they approach the game. But it's fun. It is fun. And obviously on poker any given day, anyone can win. And here we see 4 great players and it's a bit close to call. Who's your pick in the moment right now? Fizoka's got the chips. Do you have to give it to him with that big a lead? Is it just that's how it is, or would you pick someone else here?
I mean, you have him because I would say, because I don't want to say it, but I mean, you have because we drafted him. But I mean, I think it's gonna be between. I mean, I'm gonna pick three, but it's between. I mean, the way they're playing, Juan, Fisoka, or Olen. But I would take Fisoka because he's playing just so good and he has the majority of the chips. But if not, Oli is my all-time favorite. I have to pick Oli because I would always pick Oli. It's just like he's like one of the best poker minds of the last generation. So I mean, it's hard not to pick him.
Yeah, you know, he's a guy that kind of prides himself, from what I understand, on not being sort of GTO and solvers type stuff, but obviously has a vast understanding of the game. Would you imagine that he does do some deep work with solvers and such, or do you think that it's possible? Like Bryn Kinney also says this as well. You know, and I'm not quoting Ole. That's like kind of what I've heard, right? Just sort of like he's known to say that he's not really so much into solvers. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's possible to be in the top echelon without doing some deep work on your game, like with programs, or is that possible?
I think everybody has like different ways to work on their games. I mean, I think many of the old school players, like they don't look at the solvers. But I'm pretty sure Ole has. But he's just been so good for so long that you just have it. Like people are just like, there is one thing, like the people that are like got newer to the game, like maybe 4 or 5 last years, they need to put all the study to kind of catch up, like for the player that they have. I mean, like I'm pretty sure Ivy never seen a solver, and he still goes to the 100Ks, like all the tournaments he goes, and he just destroys them because he's just so good at poker that he doesn't need to be studying what the GTO play is on like King 4 Deuce Rainbow. He just knows, because he just knows, because he played a million hands, he's looked at the opponents a million times, he knows what's going on. He has so much inflow game that,
right.
You know,
and then of course he talks to people, he is alert to it, he sees people doing things that he can then incorporate into his game, or he figures out why they're doing.
Oli has that. He has like a really good like live game. You know, he's been destroying the live. He's not just like being destroying online. He's so good in live. He's always been like winning everything live, and he's just like such a good presence at the table. You know, like that kind of like cheat with presence. You know, like that he's there, and like you say, like wow, this guy, he has a really good like, you know, like there at the table, you can feel that the guy is like really good, and like.
Well, this is.
Yeah, this is. I think this is kind of. It's kind of. He deviates a little bit. Some people would fall. You can 3-bet it for sure. He's opening on the short stack at the table, and I like what Juan did, because you know his range is so wide that he just calls. He's like no point on 4-betting here, and like with the short stack. I'm gonna let him there with like all the dominated queens, everything. This guy goes for it. Fisoka, I like it.
Yeah, this is wow. He really he went for it. I mean, the queen's trap though, as played, right? He's so high up in his range, and look at this. I mean, he's got.
He gets saved again on the river. It's crazy, because I mean, I don't know what he would have done. He might have shoved the river now.
Wow.
So what happens if the deuce comes? He's just gonna give it up. And now he has the easiest check back ever. He's beating like so much. So. But yeah, Juan now the new chip leader, and he's a sick player. He's been destroying the cash game, the tournaments for a long time, Malacca style. So I think it's gonna be interesting to watch this. I kind of would have liked to see a 3-bet there, maybe sometimes King 7. I think it's good to call sometimes. Some kings you can always 3-bet from the big line. I like it. Maybe King 7 is just to 3-bet. Maybe more like King 4 off.
Wow. Yeah. Big hand. I mean, Juan Pardo's really gotten some favorable board runouts, right? He's gotten spots where he's flatting, trapping, gotten boards. People have been bluffing in the top of his range, but really executing a nice game plan. Of course, taking some variance when you flat queens. right? That's a hand that maybe kings and aces, you're going to see people flat more queens. There's obviously, you run the risk of letting a few extra worse scenarios come, but as played, he's so comfortable post flop and just it finds the right situations to get people to bluff into. So yeah, this has been a well executed final table thus far for Juan Pardo Dominguez, and Fizzoka and himself find in the 1-2 position. Oli Shemian right there though in third, and Miss Bradley, who has done well, gotten some tough runouts, is guaranteed 143,000 so far.
Yeah, this is interesting now. He has SETI a little bit less of SETI blinds. Pretty sure he's just gonna 3-bet. And I think I don't know what I would be doing. Let's see what Oli does. This is a very complicated spot. Calls perfect. I like it. I like everything he does.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be hard, even because he's one of those guys. If it's hard to even say you don't like it, because like if he's doing something that you wouldn't even agree with or that's out there, you're like probably there's a good reason, right? Or he's on a different level as you, so you can't. He's sort of protected. He's like he's in that category of you can't really criticize. But here he goes, finds ace 10 off and finds a way to get the max, and also not put himself at risk in a slightly underdog coin flip situation.
If he comes out with almost a mini raise on the flop, I love it. Saying to the opponent, I have all the spades. The opponent say, does he really have some ace here? I think he just have to fold, or his son is like, yeah, not much you can do there with nines, not even a spade. Honestly, I like the 3-bet, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Miss Bradley like just a shove there to the open.
Yeah, we're still four-handed. We are, as we said, playing to a winner. We appreciate you guys coming in. Let us know where you're watching from in the world. I know Nacho is going to be playing some big stakes live. What is it? You said Barcelona. Anything else coming up? What other stuff? You going to the Hard Rock?
Oh, no, I'm not going to the Hard Rock. I'm currently on Wyoming. I will be going to EPT Barcelona, and then probably I'm going to just go to just the main event, and there's a 10K and Cyprus. And I think after that, I'm just going to stay in Europe for like 3 months, then go to the World Cup, and maybe go to play the World Series of Poker Europe. So basically I'm going to just chill over there. My mom is coming to visit me. Yeah, I'm very excited about the World Cup. So basically, yeah, I'm very looking forward to go see how Argentina does. I know you're a big soccer fan. Who's your pick for the World Cup?
I mean, I gotta go Brazil. My wife's Brazilian. I love the brand. It's fun to watch, so I'm gonna go with them. I think they might actually be the favorite. I think someone said that recently. I mean, obviously they're always in the mix as one of the top teams, but yeah, I'd say that's. I was thinking about going. I don't think I'm gonna go, man. I've been traveling a lot, and it sounds like a great idea, but it's just I'm not sure. We'll see. You think you're gonna go, or you are going? You think you might go?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I really think like Argentina is like has like a really good chance this year. They haven't lost one game in like 33 games in a row. They beat like many tough competition, and for the first time, I think we have a really good chance of winning the World Cup. I think it's going to be either between Argentina or France, even though France is like the strongest team, and you can never count out Brazil. Brazil is always a threat. And the way I saw playing Neymar 2 days ago, I mean, I saw he was like a bit like he was kind of out of it. He wasn't playing his best, but now the World Cup is coming, and I just saw him playing the other day. He just plays so good. He's gonna care, and if they have Neymar in good shape, I mean, with all the new kids, Rafinha, I mean, Casemiro, they have an amazing team. Obviously, they're the best in the world. Obviously, it's Brazil. They have 5 World Cups.
Wow, look at this call on the river for that sizing. I was wondering, could Fizzoka ever shove that with the ace of diamonds? That would have been
gangsta.
So sick. So sick.
Very gangsta. Yeah. I would have loved to see it actually. But like, yeah, maybe he didn't bet the flop, so the other guy is gonna think, oh wait, he really has like not diamonds after not betting the flop? Yeah, it makes less sense, but yeah, he might have got away with it probably. I'm pretty sure you kind of have to fold, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, how can you think that'd be quite a time to bluff, but I mean that's it's very, yeah, it's very sick. So pretty intense action. Fazioka still 4 million. Juan Pardo does have the lead. You see Miss Bradley down now at 1 million. All of a sudden the short stack, and Oli very comfortably with 3.6 million. So still that's a lot of chips, and we're fairly deep here again. This is going to be a interesting conclusion here. A lot of money at stake. We can see the difference between fourth and first is significant. A lot of buy-ins, 10K buy-in again, Sunday tournament that concludes on Tuesday. So we are watching episode 52, season 2 of the Super Millions, and really good flop for Fazioka and a kind of scary turn card. The ace would make a straight. Definitely something your opponent could have. As played though, he is got the best hand.
I would like to see a 3-bet there from Oli. You have the blockers. I think, yeah, the guy is kind of a bit out of line. Fazioka is not too much, though. I mean, I don't think anything wrong with opening 5-4 suited there, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's. I just personally, I would like be more like. I like more calling with King Jack suited and 3-betting more 400 King Jack off. It's just like the way I do. I mean, but if it's a mistake, it's not a mistake. It's because he also lets all the kings, dominated kings inside. So I kind of like it also to mix it up and call. So let's say you open there on the bottom. He knows he's opening live. He has King 9 suited, King 7 suited, King 8 suited, all the kings. And those are hands that are all snap fold to 3-bet. So all is too good. He knows all that. So that's why he did it. So it's a good mix. He got unlucky that the other guy had 5-4 and he would have folded to the 3-bet. But yeah, he could have won more also. Juan is like, it's very sticky. I like it. It's very, very sticky. He has the 7 of diamonds. That's a very, very bad card for Juan, though.
Yeah.
Just hits so much the range of the small line.
Yeah, this is the small bet. It's so, isn't it? It's like it's so such good. A meta game. It's so good, but it's so frustrating if you're there and you're like, man, I know I need to bluff, but I don't want to bluff because they're just inducing me to raise. It's just such a frustrating thing because you feel like they just are targeting, like they know where you're at, and then it's
ace high. Exactly. He thought this guy has ace high, king high. I'm like, yeah. And he was actually, I don't know what he does. He might. I mean, he was thinking about a raise. It would have worked, I think. I don't see if he's overcalling there a raise with 3s on the 8, but it would have been nice to see a raise there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not representing much though, but yeah, sometimes he has 8s. Sometimes he check back some queen jack. Yeah, could have got away with it, I think.
Yeah, you see the ante at 8,500. Blinds are up to 3570K. Fazioka going to open up. Jack ace 7 off. We see Jack 4 suited defend. 2-3-3 board. Fazioka with the best hand, best position, goes for the about 20% bet. No resistance from Juan with no backdoor flush draw, just the Jack 4 high. Backdoor straight draw, gave it up. So Miss Bradley is in a difficult position here with King 8 off and 11, maybe 12 blinds. So this is again one where couple options, decides to pass. Would have got it through if shoved or put some chips in the middle. And as it stands, Fazioka queen 7 suited will check back, has some value. Deuce 5 suited though, flops the flush draw.
Yeah, interesting here. You have 5 high. You have like kind of a good candidate to to bet, but there is also, you can also check. It's like you can go both ways. I think being the chip leader, I like more betting. It's a bad card for Juan Dominguez. But he might continue and like just go like.
Yeah, this is interesting because obviously
Very dynamic card.
yeah, one of those rules, right? When you have the worst possible hand you can have, especially when you can mix in it's a semi bluff with one of the worst hands you can have, you do go and throw that in. It does feel like a good candidate, and he gets called and makes his hand. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, the only problem is like Fisoga doesn't have much, and like he's gonna try to size it to see so Fisoga doesn't fold two pairs. So I wouldn't think he will go for full pot here. I would think he will go more like for like 50 to 70% maybe, because he wants to get paid by the tens. He wanna get paid by all the two pairs. Yeah, I like that sizing too. Yeah, you really don't want two pairs to fall on this board, and that's what he's aiming. Fisoka has. He also is kind of tricky, right? Because like now to that sizing, maybe he wants, yeah, exactly. He wants to turn some hands into a bluff. Ownish. Wow.
That's a highlight hand right there. Some high level stuff. Blind on blind. When blind on blind goes wrong, and Juan has got the almost 2-1 basic lead, just about over second place, close to it. Almost 2-1 over Fizoka and close to 2-1 on Ole. And now Miss Bradley is going to get some bad news as we'll ship it in tens, is going to fist pump, get it in as a 4-1 favorite. Has both flush draws available, hearts and diamonds. So let's see, 4-1 can see the marks. We know people say on GG 7 comes a lot. Let's see if that's possibly true. Not at the moment. Needs a turn or river. There's some crying. 4.55%, or else we will be down to 3. Could it be? It's a club. It is a 5, and that is not enough. Three-handed, everyone on the podium, 184K locked up. Ole Shemian is in your tied for second. I'm sorry, third. He's third. And Miss Bradley, cheers with the, he's got rocking a picture, no shirt, getting some sun. Can enjoy the day with a nice score on a Tuesday, wherever Miss Bradley is in the world. Well played. And as I am told, 21 years old and on his way, competing with the best, getting big boy scores. So well done. Cheers to you, and three-handed we go. How much experience with Juan Pardo Dominguez? He's another guy very well live, right? He's pretty versed live, has a lot of results live. I'm not so sure about Fizoka, but Ole, I got to believe, is the most experienced. And then, you know, Juan is up there though. He knows how to finish off tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. And he's been a high stake reg for so many years. Yeah, he knows he's been playing really, really good too. Like that hand, that sizing, it was really, I mean, the more I think about it, it's like it's just perfect, because the other guy is being very, very, very aggressive and like pushing the limits. Yeah, it's definitely in a good spot now. He has almost double Oli. Now Oli's gonna win a big pot. I don't see him folding there here in any situation. Even though Juan, he probably is gonna bluff this one. He has like the bottom of his range. He has 10 high. I think he's gonna go for pot size or something like that, trying to fold like a 4, a 3, a deuce, some ace highs. Yeah.
Yeah, Ole, I mean, this is concerning, of course, and it's a healthy sizing. He does just look it up.
It's impossible to fall. Like, after everything is there, like he has like such a good like bluff catcher he has that he can't. Even though the deuce is not like the best card on the river, I mean, you just have to pray, call, and close your eyes and say, okay, if you have the jack or two pairs, nice somebody, what am I gonna say? there's all those situations there, like, I mean, that you have to, it's just like, you can't, nothing you can do. It's just like, okay, yeah, I have to call. This guy missed all these hands, you put everything on the balance, and you say like, yeah, no, I have enough to call, and if you got unlucky, you got unlucky, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
I saw he
And
was
that's,
gonna, I saw he was gonna size it more actually. He made 67%.
yeah.
So it's gonna go here actually.
I mean, we're down to 3, but we are very deep. I mean, look at this, 70 blinds. Is that right? 4.9 million at 70K big blind. So, you know, obviously these players are not afraid and they'll tango and mix it up, but this is you're playing for a lot of money, 184K between 300 and 2,000. So there's a lot at stake and relatively deep stack. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of style and who turns up the aggression right now. Cause it is deep.
Yeah, definitely. And I like how Ollie's playing this hand. He's just, the way the action went, his shack high is almost always good. And yeah, he tries just trying to make your opponent catch something like that. Unluckily didn't happen, but yeah, good play by him. He's been, you can see how he maneuvers small against big. He just plays always really, really. I mean, he's always been like, he did everything right so far. Every decision.
Yep. That is for sure. We see this three-handed battle. This definitely could go a few different ways. I mean, again, it's anyone's game. You could say that these are all 3 players have played super well today and can't imagine too many mistakes, but this will be a matter of who can exploit more, who can find a good situation. And of course, there are luck involved at this stakes, but the deeper it is, you know, there's a lot of play here, Nacho, a lot of play left. What would be your strategy if you feel that you have, you know, maybe you're in a bit of a disadvantage three-handed here? Do you try to push the variance, or do you think all 3 players just feel so confident in their games? You know, like, what do you think Fazioka feels in this spot? Because like obviously Ole and Juan are so experienced. You know, there's some of the titans of the game, and Fazioka's no slouch himself. How do you think he actually feels when he stacks up and looks at what's ahead of him here?
No, I don't think he feels any pressure, to be honest. The way the lines he took on the final table, like, I can see he's very experienced. Like, I mean, honestly, on the way he's been playing, I don't feel he says, I really think that he thinks he's really good, and he's really good. So, I mean, I don't think you're on the final table, you're just trying to make the best decision, take the best decision you can. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy is, but it's just a poker tournament at the end of the table. I mean, yeah. I mean, you still can run good, you can do. I mean, I don't think he doesn't have to pressure anything right now. He just have to keep playing his game and trying to take the best decision. They all have the same. I mean, now the pay champ is kind of big, actually. It's like 50,000. So you don't know who's going to bust on next. So it's just like, play your A game and whatever. I don't think he feels any pressure at all. The way I've been seeing, the sizing he's been using, how he went for it with the Queen-7, like he turned it into a bluff. I mean, I think it was a really good play too. I mean, he doesn't beat anything on the river. I mean, you can definitely fold, but I mean, I don't mind his line either. So yeah. He just got unlucky that the guy hit the river, but he would have made the other guy fall. Like, let's say the other guy had, instead of having a flush, he just bets that sizing that I think he wouldn't, but let's say he bets with, like, he puts you in a really bad spot if you are like bad 2 pairs, you know? So yeah, so I think I don't think he's nothing to.
He's not intimidated. You know, yeah, there's not like, oh wow, where, you know, he knows what to do. He's finished this off before. He knows that
He
this
has
is
a lot of
anyone's
winning,
game.
right? He has a lot of winning in GG, right? Oh, I'm not sure how.
I believe so. If we could maybe, if we have that graphic, I don't know if we can pop up Fazioka, his lifetime results. I know that Juan and Ole play a lot, and I think you mentioned you're familiar with this player. I'm not as familiar with him, but I'm very impressed with his play. Yeah, we're seeing Juan Pardo. Look at the King 5. Big bet.
Good bet. Good bet. Pardo in control completely. All uh, every hand he plays is. He's been running very good too, and let's don't get me wrong, but and look at this one. He doesn't seem intimidated at all.
No, I'd
Makes the
say,
best fold.
yeah, I'd say that's fair that he is not intimidated. Well, it is getting to it, but again, pretty deep here. So it'll be curious if there's some big, what approach is taken. It also these can take for a long time or they can go pretty fast. Obviously, a couple big hands can mix it up into a things can turn quickly. I mean, we've seen tournaments end where two players are knocked out in one hand. This is obviously deeper stacked and unlikely, but these are some players that are not afraid, and everyone's got a nice score locked up, about 18 buy-ins in cash, 18.4 minimum and up to 30. So a lot to play for. We see the prize pool start to increase as the World Series has ended for the Super Millions. We start seeing them get back into that form. And of course, what about the World Series online, Nacho? Are you going to play some of that when the schedule release? Have you played in the past on GG online? The World Series?
I have definitely played the main event. Yeah, I play some for sure. I will definitely play. I don't know how many days I will play, or like if it's gonna be like a full grind schedule, or it's just gonna be more like a Sunday. I think it is his schedule. I don't even know what it is, but yeah, I when do you think it is, Chef?
So I think September, I believe. I'm trying to think specifically. I know there's no official dates, but like based on, I know there's like a big series in August, and then I think it'll come sort of after that in September. That's what I understand, but there's no official dates. Yeah, I hope to play as well.
Yeah,
Hope
I
to play some.
probably gonna. Yeah, I'm either gonna be. I'm probably gonna be going to London and just like play some online over there. So yeah, pretty sure I will be. You will see me at the tables. Let's bet it on some PLO tournaments.
Yeah, no, it's fun. How big? How have they been? How have the big PLOs been lately online? Have you noticed the PLO game growing in terms of the field sizes for tournaments?
Oh yeah, I think they've been doing really good. Like the turnouts in GG in like the PLOs, they've been outstanding. I I was pretty disgusted. I finished like 10th or 11th on like the big one. They had like 1.5 million guaranteed or something. It was like a 1500 with many day ones, but I thought that one was amazing. Like, and even though the 400 they had the GG, what is it, like multiple day ones, and the 5Ks they had and the 10Ks they were really really good. All of them, so much value. And yeah, and now they introduced. I mean, I haven't been seen, but I saw they just put like PLO5, and I've been diving into PLO5. I've been studying solvers. I've been putting a lot of time, and I think it's amazing. I think actually we might be able to see a big decline on PLO4 on the upcoming years and a big PLO5 takeover.
I'll say this: in South Florida, I know at the Hard Rock, for example, that literally 90% of the cash games they say are 5 card now. Like it's just not even like there's like no 4 card running.
It's not even more card. It feels kind of boring now, honestly. So now I'm playing 4 or 5 card every day. It's just like, where is the 5th card? And I heard like
Yeah.
it's even 6 card in London and all the games they're like they've been running the private games. It's just 5 and 6 cards, like mostly 6 cards.
Yeah, 6 card.
And the
High
bad
low.
players love it. They love it because it's just like they get one more card and like they're there, like they still can't get it in more in the flop. It's just like it's an addictive game. Whenever as 4 is already solved, I mean, like it's super solved. I mean, this game, 6 cards and 5 card. 5 card is just we see now the solvers getting like everything is just like now they're starting to get like really good approach to it, but the 6 card I haven't seen one solver yet, so it's harder even for a pro to realize what are the correct decisions, so it makes the advantage way less. So
Yeah.
that's what the people want, like I mean, think the 4 card, I mean, I love it, is my favorite game, but like I mean, it's solved. It's completely solved pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the nice things about live and even still online. Like there are a lot of people just like to play, and it's still, there is luck, right? There's a lot of variance in 4-card, especially 5-card. It's what makes the game fun, but as you said, it is getting tougher. And that's why it's important to grow the game of poker and have new people coming in and putting their time in. And here we go. Jack 10 hangs on. Ole has got the best hand at the river, and Jack 9, not a good hand with Jack high here for one. Let's see. Obviously, he's not snap checking because he knows he doesn't have a winning hand. There's literally no hand he beats in the deck. So he has got the worst hand he could have. Does Ole have a queen? Is Ole going to hold on with 10x? This is kind of where he's at, right? Could he have even a king jack suited or something that he could get to bluff? So he's weighing all the combos, the options, and he's thinking about what to do. But this is a very intense spot and doesn't go for it. Ole probably would have had a call candidate, most likely, but you never know. Depend on the sizing, the tempo. Ole now is in the lead with almost 6 million chips. Nice hand for Ole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see people bluffing that spot too much. As I said already before, I mean, it's hard when you have the jack that are the pure let's say Ole had king jack. I mean, he's just blocking the natural the other hands that the other guy missed. So the other guy basically there, and the way the hand play, he has either the queen or a good 10. So, and all is sticky. I mean, you don't even know if he's gonna fold the 10. So I kinda agree completely with the check there by Juan. I think he's making a lot of money.
Yeah. Nicely played. All right. So ace 3, queen 10. We see a button open for Ole, queen 10 off. Bazoka with a weak ace. One of those spots where you could put some pressure on. He does it. So again, deep stack doesn't mean it's just going to be playing slow or controlling. So Ole, with the wheels spinning, does decide to give it up. He's got the chip lead. Doesn't want to take a stand there and play queen 10 off. Queen 10 suited, I'm sure he would have contested, but that is a muck. And here we go. Blind on blind. Again, another very popular thing, of course, 3-handed, something that's more prevalent, but Jack 8 has enough showdown, decides to check in position. Where would you say, if you're at home watching, where do you think someone you could offer the best way to improve quickly in tournament poker? Is it your blind on blind play? Is that one of the areas you think people could do a lot of work on and you see a lot of mistakes?
It's definitely a really big part of the game. I mean, so many situations come up from there, and yeah, I really think I mean you just have to I mean, if you're if you don't have a coach or something that it might be pricey to pay, I think there is a lot of information. You can just get a training course or a video on one of the websites, and just there are many videos on blinds explained by the best players. Yeah, so I think you can start from there if you don't have. It's also pretty helpful if you talk to friends and you know other people that you can discuss your plays with, so that helps a lot. And then yeah, obviously, but I really think the easier way for the players is just to have buy a course online, or just subscribe to any of the training sites, or dig online the information and just see what they should be limping, what they should be raising, what's the calling range is. Well, here I think you missed the action, but he went limp check back, and I like the check back here a lot. I recommend to people that never be raising an ace-8 there. It's always just so much value to check back. You dominated many of the aces of the other person, some eights. Then this kind of situation happens. Oli has more aces than the other guy, because let's put all in the balance. So let's say Juan raises ace 10, ace queen, ace jack, ace king, and some good suited aces too. He might put on the raising chain. So Ole, now he thinks, oh, I have more aces than him. And he just went for the double barrel with 0 equity, throwing completely dead. Bet the flop, bet the turn. Obviously, he gives up because he has nothing. But yeah, those are the situations that happen all the time when you check back an ace. And I also like checking good aces back, even sometimes ace 10. Obviously, all the ace 10 suited, the ace jack suited, I raise. But some even ace 10 and sometimes ace jack, you just can check back. And yeah, I mean, you got to go from there. So then you cooler the other guy, like basically you cooler hit them a lot. Let's say the guy limp jack this suited and you have ace jack and he comes jack high and he loses a lot of chips. When you would have raised with ace jack, he falls. Or let's say, there are some scenarios that I think is pretty good to just check back. Especially against really aggressive players that sometimes, I mean, it happened to me like in big binds or whatever, like the guy limps and you have ace 10. If you think about the hand, like, yeah, it's an easy raise, right? But sometimes you raise and the guy comes back from the small line and 3 bets, and now what you do with ace 10? You have to fold. So it also, now you fold in the best hand because the guy might have like a random like queen 5 suited and he's doing it, or like whatever hand he's doing it with. And also, so you fold in the best hand a lot, and also you're making fold dominated hands. So you gotta have like a good balance of exactly not what to know. It happened to me the other day. It was like in Vegas, like I was like, I limp and I raised ace 10 and the guy 3-bet from the small, and I'm like, okay, I have to fold. I'm like, or I call, I don't remember how the hand went, but like this thing is like, you get in that bad spot that sometimes you just check back and you have like literally the top of your range checking back there that is ace 10, and you crash his 10-8 suited, 10-8, 10-7, everything. Whenever he hits a 10, he loses a lot. I think.
Oh, wow, this is interesting though that he bets king 9 here. Like that, pretty interesting to bet on this board, and then gets raised.
I was gonna tell you, if you bet king 9 there and you get check raise, you have to call.
Right. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think he's betting the fold, but it's just so crazy, right? Because you're like, oh, you have a pretty good hand.
I wouldn't recommend to the people watching doing what Oli's doing because he's just too good.
Yeah.
And now he goes for the 50% on the river like he always has a heart. And now the jack really helps him a lot too. Juan might find a fold here, even though I don't think so, but.
Yeah, I'm taking notes on the side here too. I honestly, like, there's so many interesting hands. I'm time stamping. I also do put out on my Jeff Gross Poker YouTube channel, guys, if you want to see a highlight from the previous week. On Mondays, I do put out roughly a 20-minute video, some of the key hands for that. So Nachos will be out next Monday. I think Brandon Adams was out yesterday. And yeah, that's another way you guys can follow along and see some cool action. So that's always fun. And this is a very interesting hand as well.
I think I fold even Juan here, honestly. But he called. I think it's that the thing is like he should never have that. He just literally what he did is a cry call, because Oli never should have that complete random hand. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So it's like that's on the doubts. I mean, you kind of. Oh wow, this could get interesting here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This has got potential. This is potential for some carnage. I mean, king 9 got the over in the flush draw, second nut flush draw, versus the 5-6 that has a kind of sneaky nice draw here. Yeah, the time bank. So still time. I mean, there's 3-handed. He's got 5 minutes, 45 seconds, but that chess clock is significantly lower.
Did they add time to him? They added time for him or not? Because it looked like he had 0 seconds on something.
No, I think that was his disconnect clock.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for someone that streams on, well, he does make the stone cold nuts here on the river, which is pretty sweet. And Pazoka, not gonna love this. Actually, did have the best hand going to the river, although the hearts miss. So he's gonna, yeah, not much going, especially when you have the missed heart draw yourself. Not too good, right? You're kind of whatever. You have king high.
Yeah.
It's just this hand could have gone differently. There were some action cards for sure, right? The 7 of hearts, deuce of hearts could have been super, super spicy. And here we see ace king, ace 9. Ole with the dominated hand. He's in the small blind.
He can go both ways. I don't mind calling here, but pivot is the standard play.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna hear the bad news though. How big would you go? I think he's gonna go 1.32, 1.48.
Yeah, a little extra on it, but still in position. And this is one of those spots where Ole is, yeah, he doesn't love what happened there. Definitely one he's expecting to pick up the majority of the time. And as it plays, he's in the tank, maybe just doing a little pondering. He also, I mean, does he have that in his 4-bet jam candidate hands? It's not out of the question, although it doesn't feel like that's what's happening. But he is taking some time. And I don't think Ole is a tanker, right? I don't feel like he puts on a lot of he was considering it, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, I think he was just timing, just to say, don't fuck around with me. Honestly, I think like he never shoves there. If we ask him, he's 0% shoving that spot.
That's what I would. I would think it's I think he's gonna find better edges and spots like than just
he's too good. He's too good to like take like such a marginal spot. He would never do it. I think it's just like, I mean,
yeah, no, I agree with you.
You see that one? He bet 1.1 pot with queen high and he made a king high fall. I love it. You see Victor with 100% call there with king jack. That's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see this sheet for Super Millions lifetime results for Ole. Let me just take a look here. I think he has a title on season 1 and season 2. Victor has 3 total titles. Dario has 1. So yeah, I think yeah, that's right. So he's got several titles. This is again very strong matchup today, guys. This is, I hope you're taking notes, and again, try at your own risk, because some of these plays just won't work probably in the games you're at, and also against specific spots. It's not so easy to craft some of these plays that they're making, but it is fun to watch, and it's fun to take notes and to try to figure out why people are doing what they're doing. But you're seeing the creme de la creme, and we welcome you in. Nacho Barbero, myself, Jeff Gross, your host. We are in season 2, episode 52, and we'll be back next Tuesday as well. A very special guest, same time, same place. Hope you guys can win the giveaway. I know this didn't happen this week. We are pretty high on the giveaways, though. Generally, there's been some nice scores for the audience: 300, 200, some 100s, and today not going to work. Bluffing with 10-7 into king top pair. So pick up for Ole, and look at this, man. It's really anyone's game. They have literally the same stacks, 3-handed. It's about as close as you can get, roughly 45 blinds.
I'm going to be honest with you. I bet on Oli to win the final table, and I have Juan Dominguez and Fisoka, and I win a dinner with you. I already won. So I'm pretty happy about the situation. I think the baddest scenario for me is if Juan wins. That would be brutal. But I'm rooting for him. I'm always rooting for the Spaniards.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I like, all these guys seem like, from what I understand, very nice guys, good guys. I don't know them actually. Ole, I've played with a bunch over the years, and always have a nice, just friendly hello, but he's not someone I know very well. I just, like I said, I respect him a lot. And Juan Pardo I know also is a hard worker, great player, and Fizoka's the one I'm least familiar with, but fan of his game.
Yeah, now Ole raised pre-flop. so far very standard. I mean, some people check back there 8-5. It's kind of a good hand to check back. People usually picks worse hand than that to raise, like maybe way worse than that or way better than that. And yeah, he just gives it up. He has so many kings with Soka there limping, and he has so many seeds that he called you down with that it's just like he can't really bluff it. So I like pretty standard, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're three-handed again. We are gonna play to a winner, and right now it is the chip leader Fazioka who is in the driver's seat, although not gonna be easy here. See, Oli has a 3-4 off, gonna jump ahead of the king 4. He's gonna bet king high, definitely could be the best hand, but gives it up, doesn't make a meal of it. Do 7 kings. So Fazioka with the big powerful kings in the big blind likely gonna go limp, and then yeah, maybe Ole's playing some other tables. I think he has several children as well. Could be doing some, who knows, man. He plays quickly, but he's yeah, the ace 9 I would like to check. I'm just pretty sure you're right though. He was not looking to do much there.
Yeah,
kind of
he
three bet pre and go.
He might have considered it for like a little bit, like, but I think like with the sizing, the other guy put like 1.5 million. I was like, nah, it's way too much. Like he didn't have room for the. He put like basically almost half of his stack. I mean, but sometimes you just have to let it go, and that's it. You let it go.
Ace jack, ace 8. This could be problematic for Fazioka. Definitely a spot where you limp in and you're kind of high up in your range, and this is definitely a problematic board. Hard to make a pair. They both hit pair their card, and Ole with a huge advantage here now. See how much he can extract.
He bets like 70%. He bet 70%. I think is like very kind of heavy draw. You know, like there's a lot of hands that we're gonna call you with, like queen 10, 10 9, all the jacks, all the 8s. This is kind of an action killer. I think they're both gonna check here. I don't see if he's over. He kind of got lucky if he's over. I think he was gonna lose more on that hand. The 9 of clubs and the queen were like such an action killers. Like he got many of those, Hisoka, many of those action killer hands that they say them kind of a lot of chips.
Yeah.
Here is pretty good to 3-bet, I think. Yeah, I like it. I like it way more than defending with those stacks.
All right, blinds are up. This is generally where we see things start get going. The 61-20 level gets sort of, so what we've seen historically will end, but this is a little different than normal. I mean, they genuinely have the exact same stack right now. There are no ICM, no deals in the Super Millions. It's one of the pure formats. I don't know if you saw this, Nacho, that the Super Millions will be doing a live version where they will keep track of lifetime sort of result, right? Like you'll know if you're plus or minus, you know, really keep a tab on how you've done in this specific tournament, and they'll have this added in a lot of stops. So it's going to be pretty cool to see the live version of the Super Millions on the tour as well. Cause I mean, you can go both ways on that, right? But like you look at someone's Hendon-Mod, right? You have over 5 million in earnings, this and that, but you played a lot. You don't really know exactly someone's ROI, right? Of course, how they've done and where they're at. But in the Super Millions, you'll be able to see, you know, where people stack up and how they can compare in this tournament. And look at that, Queen Jack suited, rips it in. No fear.
Like a boss.
Bossing it up, putting a little pep in the step, and Ole took the medicine there. Okay, well played. Boys are battling.
He went from the unconventional 3-bet with 5-6 suited, and he got shoved by the Queen Jack suited. Like he could have also called pre. There were all the options were up there, you know, like calling pre, 3-betting pre, floating, the three bet, everything was there. We just went for the shove and he printed money. Got the 6 high to fall. It's really good level of play so far. Like I'm very impressed by all the players, but especially by these three. Not because the three that got to this stage, but I would have loved to see Victor folding the ace-9. He found the bluff, but it was. I mean, it's hard sometimes those ace high boards. Like people has less tendency to go for like savage bluff, but I don't know. It's just my opinion. He's he's the best in the world. So yeah, you know what I mean. That's these three like really are playing their A game 100%. Oh, sorry, but going back to the millions that you asked me. No, I didn't know about it. Sorry. What is it like? I'm going.
So essentially what's going to happen, there will be this same tournament, a 10K buy-in. It'll be GG Super Millions, and it's going to be live. So we'll track lifetime, right? Let's say the goal is a year, 2, 3 years, or whatever, each season, call it. Maybe they'll tag it on at the MPP or certain tournament stops. They will have this event, and then it will actually track lifetime, like how you performed, right? So you'll know Nacho's played 8 times. He's got a win and 3 final tables, and he's up X amount. So it's just a way to kind of like give a uniform result for this particular series. So you kind of see where you stack up, and that's the gist of it. I don't know like specifically where, when, and how that's going to start, but I know when I announced with GG at the World Series, this something we went over and we talked about, and then that's like one of the plans. They want to carry this into the live format, but have it be like transparent and get to see how people perform in a uniform field. And so, they might add it at the Poker Go, for example, right? There'd be like a 10K, they'll brand it Super Millions, and then you'll get to see lifetime if you're plus or minus in that. So it's kind of cool just to see, have a way to have an even barometer and know how people stack up in it. I think it'll be fun. But I like that. I like the rankings and those things. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
so that's one thing about tournaments. It's great.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
I think it's very good, actually. Very good idea by GG. Do you know where the first edition is going to be?
That's a good question. I thought it was going to be in Cyprus coming up here at that format, that tournament series, that the MPP, but I'd have to confirm that. So I'm not sure yet, but I know it's coming this year. It'll definitely be this year. Are you going to make it to Cyprus after Barcelona?
Yeah, I think I've never been. I really want to go. I think I heard like many good things, and yeah, I would love to come over. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
The merit. I got a lot of nice things to say. Look, no one's got anything here. A lot of chips are in this pot. King Jack high, Queen 5 high. Can Fazoka pull the trigger? Kind of has to, right? But
Ole with 3-bet pre. I don't know if you've seen it.
Wow.
I think he went way out of line. That's definitely not a 3-bet Queen 5 off against the bottom. But yeah, he got caught in that situation. I think Ole now he's dominating. He's like, honestly, he has some value in some kings, but I think he's gonna just bet something, maybe make him fall like 9. Yeah, he just check backs. I like it. It's good.
This is what I'm saying though. Isn't it kind of amazing that Ole can like in a spot like that somehow have the best hand, and like just like so rarely that's going to be good. You'll even somehow be against
us. Like you're there, you never King Shack is never good there. You know what I mean? It's just
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, also, I don't know if you heard at the Cyprus event what's happening with Triton, and they're doing the remake sort of the Triton Million, but they're going to do a 200K. Have you heard anything about this?
Yeah, I heard about it. There's like a half pros and half recreationals. Something like that.
So they will do exactly where they separate the field for the first 8 levels on day 1, and then day 2 combine the fields, but it'll be pros and businessman, and then you get 1 reentry. So the max you could be in is 400K US, and they will have a pairing for a pro to play to be with the business person. I was talking to Rob and Espen, the main event champ, just last week on podcast. Actually, the other day we were talking about it, but it's a little tricky on the businessman, right? Like guys like Kerry Katz or Paul Poix are like, are they really businessmen? I mean, they play every event. They're so tough, and they I guess it doesn't really matter. You have to kind of, there's some variables, but what would you consider?
So
those
how
guys.
does it work? I don't quite get it. So like they combine on the day too, but what's the thing? So the recreationals play against each other, and then they play against the pros. So what's a good attractive thing for the recreationals?
So essentially, day one, the whole day you play with business. You separate the business and the pros,
You're gonna get able
and
to
then
get more chips.
you get basically make it to day two. Maybe there's like 20%, 25% of the field left, and at that point you had to battle with the pros battle each other and the business
I
battle
kind of
each
love
other.
it actually. I think it's a super interesting idea. It's amazing because you can gather way easier like the chips on the day one if you're like a recreational. You're playing against recreational, so you're gonna come up with a big stack, and then okay, you're playing against the pros, but they battle against each other. I mean, like they might not have like the same amount of chips that you could have gathered. I think it's cool. He went for the check raise here, right, Fisoko?
Yeah, we are on a turn with 1.7 million, and we've got 9-10. This time he is following through, and Ole though with a pesky middle pair king kicker though, kind of king jack high. This looks a lot better than having king jack high, although situation's different, and we are going to see a call. And look at this, he has the best hand again. This is not fun. You're Fizzoka, you basically have like the worst hands you could have out of position versus Ole. It's almost like a deja vu scenario. And let's see if this time he does continue.
I mean, sounds complicated that he showed there, but he really has the bottom of his range. Like, but I don't see him doing it. But this guy is being very, very sick. Yeah.
Ole, man. Ole. It's just hard not to.
Ole.
Ole. He's got no 8, no 9, no 10. Like the hands, he's sticking to the bluffs. He's doing his thing. Does he have the ace? Is he going for this type of value? Like, this is just,
the guy is not representing much also when he's check raising on a6-7. Like all is too smart. He's gonna think he has like 9-10, 9-8, 9-5, 5-4, 8-5. I mean, is he really check raising there two pairs? He's gonna be thinking this way. He's really check raising. I'm blocking sevens. I mean, does he really have two pairs there? I think he's gonna call actually. He's gonna call and no.
wow, nice. I don't know. Listen, there's great calls, and this is the one thing I love commentary so much. I love doing these shows. It's so like the whole cards up are so fun, but it also like kind of like always, it's a little biased and you always whatever. But yeah, man, Ole just seems to make great decisions so often. But there, he couldn't ultimately hit the call button. But great trigger there from Fizzoka. And here we are back to 4.5 million roughly.
That was a savage laugh. That was a savage laugh by Fizzoka with the 10 high. I loved it. I mean, you saw it at the World Series final table when the guy is just like against the chip leader when they had the 6-5 off, and in the king 3-3 flop, he check raised with 6-5, and he came like an 8, like of clubs, and it's just like bet, and river was a 7, like didn't change. It's just ripped it with 6-5 off, and that I think that like actually put it in. I think it was the guy that came second. I don't know. I think he was him. And yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta pull the trigger with like when you have the 6 high, the bottom of your range, you're not beating anything. And these guys are good. They're capable of folding. You gotta do it. Like he actually made it to top 2 by winning that hand. And he made the Serbian guy fold the king. It's just like you see the hand from the outside, you say what's going on, but like on those spots that you're just like, okay, sometimes you gotta go for it. Like the frequency doesn't have to be that high, because otherwise then they start calling you, and these guys play each other all the time. So if you're just pulling that bluff in a frequency of, let's say, like 50% or 60%, whatever you're doing, it's just way too much. But if you're doing like with a good timing with like good frequency, I think it's good.
Yeah, completely. You're exactly right. And this is a pretty sick river there. It has to be a king that's not a club. So a big break there for Juan Pardo Dominguez. And he does separate himself now. You see 5, 4, and 3 kind of laddering the stack sizes here.
The two outer, he really got two outed in the hand. Really
yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. I like the bet here with the backdoor, making some hands that have good equity against you. Like, for example, you're charging 8-9, you're charging like many other hands, like worse fives. You always have to be thinking what the other one has and like what is he paying with. This guy, the tendency of Juan is to bluff a lot, so I kind of like what he's doing. Not only here, this check. We saw him doing the bluff with completely random with 10-7 on like King-9 deuce rainbow. He went check call, 3 on the turn, check, check, river 3. He check again only, and the guy bet 10-7 off. So yeah, he goes big though. Wow, what a beautiful river for Ole.
Yeah. Yeah, what a nice check on the turn. Doesn't want to get blown off his equity. I mean, a pretty good card for him. And now what a dream river. And again, here we go. Juan has a absolute nothing. 9 high.
He probably goes for this in this
Of
one.
course. I mean, the thing is, because he doesn't have diamonds or spades as well as opponents, they have
two busted flash draws. What does Holly does with the 7? I don't even know if he calls. Yeah, he went for a 1.6 pot. And he got really unlucky because I'm pretty sure on that if he wasn't the 5, he's folding pretty much everything on that river. He got really, that was a really good play by Juan Pardo Dominguez. He's just like, in Argentina we say the surgery was successful, but the patient died. That's exactly what it was.
I've actually not heard that analogy for poker, but yeah, that's about spot on. I'm going to use that. I'll quote you on that. I don't like that because it's not fun when someone dies, but that is exactly right. Well executed hand, a bit unlucky on the result. Poker's so results oriented. So is surgery as well, right? That is true. It's important.
Yeah.
The result.
It's exactly what happened. The guy's folding everything. Wow, Oli is such an animal. He's just like, he's just making the best unfolds all the time. He's just the best. And look at that. I don't love the A6 call there to the 3-bet. I think it's a pretty, I mean, it's 300, whatever you want, but A6 suited without position. Oh, I play so bad against the 3-betting range from Oli. And you're gonna get like he's gonna win so much on the flop, and sometimes your ace is dominated. I mean, I just think that's a bit too loose. I would like more the 3-bet pre-flop, but if I just happen to flat, that is, I think I like it the flat, and I would fold it to the 3-bet 100%. What do you think? I think is.
I'm with you. We're pretty aligned today, which makes me feel good. I know you're in good form playing. You're winning bracelets. You took down the 10K turbo at the WSOP, got your bracelet, and I would say I'm pretty impressed with the plays. Also, some stuff that I'm taking notes on today. But yeah, I think Ole, right now he just started. Oh, there it is, slot machine right there, 777. Ole's got.
There is another thing that we don't see. Do you really want to play A6 suited in a 3-bet pot with like a CPR like of 2? Against Ole Shimon? I mean, how are you gonna win it? I mean, like really.
Yeah, you're big pay jumps here too. He's gonna put a lot of pressure on. Jack 9 actually has the best hand here, and Juan goes for a decent sizing. So let's see if Bizoka's gonna get sticky and try to make a play. It does not. Nicely done.
I really like the sizings of Juan. I think they've been like always on point, like perfect. Like yeah, really good. He's putting
you don't study the 777 board too much, but he seemed to have a good plan for that. And there it is. There is Queen 8 suited going to jump into the lead. And if you're Queen King suited, not loving the flop, this is sort of a license for Ole to take control here on the 6, 6, 8, 10. And he has got the best hand, and he does throw a little protection out.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about already on that board before. Like some here in that board, it's just like now, like the solver is check raising so much on 668 that you're like, you really want to bet King Queen there when you have the King Queen of Hearts with the backdoor almost not second nut flush draw. I mean, you really want to get exposed to like getting check raise, but everything 7-9, 7-5, 9-10, and 10-7. If I mean, all the sixes, the good eights, come on, it's just way too much. It's like if you bet there, like I think you're making like a huge mistake nowadays. I think before it was more people would like more auto bet those spots, but I think now it's just very clear check.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right. 184,000 guaranteed to these players, and we are still three-handed. 4:55 Eastern at the moment. We appreciate Nacho. Where can they find you? Where can people follow along with your content? I know you travel the world. You're playing poker. You've been doing it a long time. We'll have a podcast as well. Hope you guys get to check that out on my channel here in the next coming days. We'll have that. But where can they follow you on social media? Twitter, Instagram. What's your handles and how active are you there?
I'm kind of active. I've been more active in the past. My Twitter is Nacho_Barbero, very simple. And my Instagram is Nach, NACH, _B, Nach B. So it's pretty hard. I mean, you just can look on Chef Gross Instagram, and obviously I follow him, the legend.
Don't make me blush. Don't make me blush, Nacho. Save the butter up for when we have our podcast. We'll have, hopefully a glass of wine and have a nice conversation. When's the last time you were on a podcast?
No, the last one was so funny. I remember. I don't know. It was during the pandemic for sure. I was like bored at home and I got really drunk, and it was so much fun. So come up with like pretty fun stories.
Nice. We'll save some for the podcast here. And Juan Dominguez finds himself with a pretty nice hand here. Top pair, top kicker, nut flush draw. Has a decision though. There are some.
He checked back the flop.
Yeah.
I think. Or he bet. No, I think he checked back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was talking about the podcast. I like the race here. Beast mode. I really like the race. I think this is the unconventional line sometimes. Like people like this thing. Like if you take out this hand on a vacuum, you say like, okay, you have the 10, you have the nut kicker, you have the nut flush draw. It looks too much like a call. But I like when people goes like this. It's just like, okay, the opponent is going to still be calling, you know, all is very sticky. You're going to make him pay for his draw. He has 7-8. Like let's say he has 10-7, like so many hands 10-8. He just might continue. So yeah, you charge him and then you decide on the river. He probably, many rivers he checks backs and many and some other but good rivers he just shoves. I think it's the way to go. Pretty accurate, Juan, and every decision that you see is a top reg. It's like, didn't make one mistake. I'm so impressed with him.
Yeah, it's impressive. It is. It's very impressive. And here Ole has got a gut shot and he's got queen jack with a frustrating flop here. You're out of position. You realize your opponent can put a lot of pressure on you. It's kind of hard to stick on here with queen high.
He's gonna call though. I don't see him call that. He's raising. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think with the queen of spade folding is an option here because your opponent is betting so much worse sometimes. Like you see it like there, like all the threes, all the deuces probably bet, and like 7 deuce, like 8 deuce, like 9 truly is just crashing those hands. You have backdoor straight to the not backdoor straight. They have the queen high could be good, and I wouldn't fold. I would have never check raised that, but I loved it honestly. Now I have that on the books. Check raise, a spade comes, you're gonna win. You can keep going on the 10. You can keep going on the king. Yeah, I think it's very creative and very. I like it. This guy is a beast, honestly. Sissoko, he just goes for it every hand. All is so.
All right, we got nines and king deuce off. So 2 nines here. Got to be a little wary of the third place, right? You run the risk like of some ICM and just such a powerful hand, 3-handed, not a lot of good flops. So can't fault him for taking the aggressive line there and just picking it up. But we see 6, 4, and 2, 6.7, 4.5, 2.3. So Ole, all of a sudden, Nacho, I'm thinking about places in Miami. There's some new hot spots and some great dinner options. And I hope you have a date because we like good sushi. So I'm thinking, where have you been in Miami? Have you been to Zizzi's or any of the spots? Have you been out in Miami in a while? You look like a Miami guy.
I love it, bro. You took me out. I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
We went to Gitana. Yeah,
I remember, of course. But I didn't know if you've been back recently. I've been on the road. I feel like Miami might be something you're just, I hope not, because if you go to Miami and don't give me a heads up, it's disrespectful, but it's possible. I've been surprised before. You know, it's people forget or people are traveling or whatever. So yeah, we'll go to a nice spot there. And here is Ole with the straight cash homie, 1.3, 7.5 million. It's just going his way. Ole is dangerous right now. Money's got to be on Ole to finish this off. 7.5 versus he's got more chips than the second and third combined. That's dangerous.
I kind of want to see how much money did I bet on Ole. It's okay. I can't because I'm doing the stream. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna hit you up when I'm over there. You know, I love Miami. There are way too many good options to eat in Miami.
Oh, look at this. Queen 4 suited all in, ace 10. And Ole, do we get a sweaty turn? Of course. There's a little sweat, needs a jack or
God.
Or I'm sorry, the 9. What was I saying? He needed a jack. What are they talking about? He needed a 9. I saw it was a gut shot. I called the wrong card. The car comes and Ole is just getting flexing. Juan Pardo Dominguez, 10.7 in GG Poker earnings. Unreal. This is a absolute devastating blow for him there with that card coming on the river. I mean, hits the ace 10, pairs both cards and loses. That's a pretty dramatic. And Fazioka's got to be happy, but also big task ahead to take down Ole with this chip lead.
Yeah. I think that was an unconventional play by Ole, but yeah, I like it. What can I say? He has the chips. Whoever wins the hand, you gotta give them credit. No, nobody shoves there with the queen 5 suited to the limp raise 3-bet all in. But yeah, he's just probably he knows like Juan is open in like he's raising a lot of trash hands and like he has ICM pressure that he can't be really calling too much light. He's not calling like maybe A7, A6, A5. And I mean, yeah, he's making follow of those. It's just like a win. And yeah, if he calls with the top of his range, he still has whatever, 35%, 40%, 35. Yeah. I wouldn't do it, but it's Ole Shemian, and he's the best in the world. And I love it. He probably had it very studied, those spots.
Very interesting hand here.
He limped the bottom. What is your favorite place in Miami? We're going to go to that one. If Hisoka doesn't win, by the way.
I mean, Zizzi's, I think, is the coolest spot. Have you been there?
No, I haven't been.
It's a sushi spot, but they brought some top chefs from New York, and it's a cool vibe, great food, nice atmosphere. I think probably one of the best spots there in Miami. There's actually a 40,000 person wait list for membership. It's a membership place, so it's kind of crazy. It's gotten like into a, you know, it's become a pretty. I haven't been. I've been gone. I've been traveling for a while, but I always like going there. So
are you a member?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll be my choice, but you're welcome if you win to choose where you want to go.
Yeah, perfect. We go there, buddy. Don't worry. I was gonna go now for the seminar, but then changed my mind at the last moment.
They have a 25K PLO tomorrow. You might want to take a look at that.
No, I'm here. I came with here in Wyoming.
No, you're in a good spot. Yeah, tournament. Sometimes tournaments can wait. There's a lot of tournaments. You gotta take nature and.
and so many tournaments coming in Europe. And I played. I mean, you have no idea how much I played at the World Series. I never played more in my life. Like literally, like I just nonstop every day. If I would lose, play the next one, or like just if I wasn't playing the tournament, I was playing the cash game. It was every day. And look at that. Only betting the Jack 6-3 with 9-7 and hitting the 7. I love it. He's so unconventional.
Yeah, this is actually sick. He's gonna get paid here too. Probably, right? I mean, this is like the sixth. Yeah, how could you not? The innocuous 7. How does he have a 7? It's
He has a 7. He got really, really unlucky. He's so good in this one.
yeah,
What is
see
the
him.
next tournament we're gonna see you? Oh, you're going to the Cyprus. I see you there. Yeah.
I'll do commentary. I hope we play the 20. I think they do have a 25K PLO in between the no limit and the hold'em, like right after that 200K or maybe before. I forget, like a break between the short deck sort of starts. So that's the ones I like to play. We'll see it. We see people congratulating you for your bracelet. You did take down the 10K turbo, right? The bounty, 10K bounty this summer. That's what it was.
Yeah, 10K bounty. Yeah.
That's a fun one. That's like that's one of the ones you look at the schedule. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go excited to play. How many bounties did you get in that?
I got 16 bounties for 48,000. That was pretty insane. I think nobody got more than 10 there, but it's yeah. I ran super hot when I was down to 16. And look at this. Yeah, I was like I was kind of short with 16 left, or like 12 lines, and then I just went like on the biggest rush ever. Like just won every single hand till like I won the tournament pretty much. It was pretty. But I also got like really unlucky in other spots. I'm never. I saw I got. I mean, I played a cheap leader pot on the 5K with like 16 left, and I got it in 92% all in on the turn. That would have put me cheap leader with 16 left, and I lost it. And I had many other like big like hands that they went in my favor, but they were not in my favor. But in this one, just when like you're like meant to win the tournament, I was like meant to win the tournament. I just like won every single hand. It was pretty fun. And every time you would eliminate somebody, $3,000, it was like kind of cool. Those are good. They should have more. I think they should have. I've been rooting for the to have like something like that, but a PLO one. They should have like a big buying PLO bounty, like even a 5K.
That's what I'm saying about the poker, though, such in a great state. People are playing, people love the game, and like you can make mystery bounties, progressive bounties, PLO, Annie. Like there's a lot of ways to make it a little more fun and gambly. And like
yeah, exactly that PLO bounty. Like let's say a small buying, like a 1,500. Like they have the 1,500 mystery bounty. How many players would get? The players I have no idea how to play PLO. It would be insane. So I mean, they have to do way more mystery bounty. Mystery bounty is the way to go now. Like everybody just loves them. Or like a way to track and do like progressive bounty. That would be also super fun. But then that takes like way more. Like it's way more complicated.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ole has got a cool 10 mil, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an Ole Shumian fan, you are in for a likely treat. He is got a nice lead, but not over yet. And Fazioka is going to do his best to keep up. 235K locked up. Pretty nice looking payouts for the boys here today. It's a lot of ROI on a 10K. Ole Shumian looking to add to his titles for the Super Millions. And Fazioka, I believe, if I can just double check, did you see that? I don't know if you saw the sheet. Let me just see, because I think Fazioka does not have, oh no, so small how I have it set. But I believe he actually has won a title, if I'm reading that right. So I do believe he has. But either way, Ole Shumian's won, I believe, 3, and he is in a very good position here on the turn with 500K in the middle.
Any other player that has more than 3?
Yeah, last week I think someone has 5, man. Like Adamo might have 5 or something ridiculous. There was someone else that has a lot. I think Victor's
Both
got
then,
several.
someone goes then. Yes, I think he's been crushing this tournament, but I don't know how many he has.
I was just trying to find this. Like I got sent a sheet and See if I can see it here. Yeah, Damo
Bad
has three.
idea.
Oh yeah, here we.
Bad,
Yeah,
bad
so
idea.
let me see if I can organize it by titles. I don't think I can. No, but yeah, Damo definitely has three. I think this season he might have five overall. I think for season 2, he's got three. And there's a couple. Bruno Volkman has 2 this season. Nicholas Osted 2. Jay Anderson 2. Darren Elias has 2 as well. So. All right, King 9, Jack 9. Ole behind here, dominated. Fizoka though, both players with the diamonds. Does Ole want to make a small bet here? 315. He doesn't. Yeah, I've seen a lot more delayed C bets, right? With like airball stuff too. Like that's something I've been noticing.
You
Players
might have
doing.
seen it here, I think. But yeah, his jack high is kind of good. He's gonna probably check it down and hope he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ollie's just destroying, like he's been having many hands though, but
King Deuce, Jack 9. King Deuce makes 2 pair. Ole has got absolute airball here. 600K about in the middle, goes for a third pot. And that's certainly not going to get through here. Let's see if Fizoka plays it fast or slow. He's got 2 pair. There's 3 clubs. Could warrant some protection. You also could just get it in versus someone that has maybe has a king, some other hands. Charging for the draw. Does open it up. 3.2 million, 10.3 million, 3-4 suited, ace jack off. So goes for a raise. Not going to be seeing a free one here.
he's making a little comeback. Fizoka, he was down to like 2.6. Starting to get some hands. Might get interesting. Oh, this could be cost him some chips with the jack of diamonds. I think he's gonna go big. Yeah, he went big.
Yeah, big price gets called. So Jack 5 is in bad shape. 10-5 on the turn has a it's hard to make a pair and hold them. Heads up. It's extremely hard to make 2 pair, and Ole has done that with the worst hand. So, I mean, again, Fizoka, great player. Ole, great player. Ole's definitely gotten some nice distribution so far in the heads up, and a few key turns like that 9 on the river was a big one against 6-9. That was definitely a tough card.
Yeah, he went for the overbet on the turn. He was aiming other hands that the other guy didn't have. He had bottom pair, but he was gonna get like a lot of money if the other guys float with like a king high or like a good 10 there. So yeah, that's why he aimed those hands. He wasn't like trying to charge a 6 or something that way, clearly. Easy call now from Fizoka, but sometimes he's mixing it up. They saw him bluff so much, so yeah, I like it.
Yeah, ace 4. He's got this is a nice position for him here. He's got to fade 5 outs with 1 card to come 1.2 in the middle, and Ole though with a 3, right? This is definitely.
I think he's gonna just give it up here. Honestly, I mean,
I don't know, man. Really?
Yeah, there are many missed draws so far, but I mean, I just don't see the point.
I thought he would.
He would call. I don't like it too much.
I mean, it's hard. Like, just heads up, man. It's like I hear you. I'm with you. It's not like a fist pump spot. I just think that you are
But
beating a fair amount.
the opponent doesn't always have like a flasher there, like or a gut shot. I mean, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, obviously he has 3 5s. I mean, obviously he has like many hands he's beating, but even those hands they have so much equity that even. I mean, I don't know. I just, particular that one I like more default, but it's just like just me. Oh, this one can get interesting. I think
Yeah.
Wall is gonna go for this one.
Wow. I mean, it's honest. This is actually like this is a snapshot. It's hard to have worse hands, right? 4 high and 3 high on the turn, where there's money in the pot, heads up for a title. This is pretty intense. Ole, wheel spinning.
Wall is, yeah. He didn't believe that one though, too much. I
All right,
like
well,
the leader by Fisoka. I think it's really good. It's the way to go. He really made a comeback. He almost doubled from his bottom. Check back, stop pair, bad kicker. You want the other one to catch up something. He catches. So far, so good. Ole might think his 4 is good here most of the time. Many things miss. He might go for a bet. Yeah. Good play by Fisoka again. They're even in chips.
all right. Well, if you're betting at home, if you got odds on this, all of a sudden, don't look now. Fizoka does have the lead. They're roughly tied. Anyone's game back to even. What's up, basketball maven Joseph Bobek? That's right. We got Nacho Barbero, fresh off a World Series of Poker bracelet. How many final tables do you have? How good did that feel to break free? I want to save some emotion for the podcast, but how special is that? Like, did that one just feel different to win that? Like, like, sum it up for me?
The 10K, the bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some final tables at the World Series, and none of them went my way. So, and yeah, for everything that happened recently, like I was kind of depressed going into World Series actually. So, yeah, I mean, felt really good, like special, like. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was always my dream to win a bracelet. So I mean, like succeeding, like you're like, wow. And they say the first one is the hardest. So yeah, like maybe there are some other comments, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely very, very, very special because I was having like a really bad moment in my life. Like, I mean, basically, so for the people that don't know, what happened to me is pretty much what happened to a world champion. I had uh, like 95% of my net worth Luna, and it went to zero.
90 to 95%.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that, but it's just like it just keep going up so much, F, that it's
Right.
like
Yeah, I get it. Proportionally, and then all of a sudden it's there, and you're like, oh shit! Like now I got.
Let's say it was 60 at the beginning, and then suddenly it was 90. It went like 20x since I started buying. So you know what I mean? It's like just kept going. It wasn't, and I really thought like the project was really good and solid, and it was gonna do well. So yeah, I mean, I was going into World Series was like destroyed emotionally, like yeah, you pretty much know how much I lost, and I was like, and it was, I mean, for me, I mean, we're used to the swing, yeah, like you can lose, you can go in a downswing, you lose 500k, 700k, but this was really life changing money, like I could have like literally never worked again in my life, and
Yeah.
it's hard to lose in that much, and
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't definitely prepared. So when I won the bracelet, it was like the best sensation ever because it's like not just because of the money. It's like I mean, all the anger and all the things that you had inside, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a big, it's hard, it's heavy, right? It's hard to explain or put into words, or no one can really understand like how that works or how you feel internally. I'll tell you how Fizzoka feels though. He feels nice because he just hit a flush on a very interesting board that he definitely could get paid if his opponent had an ace or a 9. But this particular card, he's just going to win the pot, and don't think Ole will make a meal of it. I want to shout out my man Pre Sentai in the chat. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate the support. Always nice to see you pop in. And guys, we welcome you to hit that thumbs up button. I know I appreciate it, and Nacho does too. We're having fun, and it helps with the algorithm. So please go ahead and hit that button. No giveaway today. We did give you 2 shots at getting a free roll, but both those players, Mark Radoja and who else was it? Who else did we give? Someone else was good, right? Was it Panakovs or so long ago, Nacho? This has been a long show.
You gave Ponakov, yeah, Ponakov and Radoja, yeah, I think so.
It was definitely Radoja. That guy. I wouldn't.
I'm not sure about Ponakov. I don't think you gave him actually. You gave the last one.
Oh, maybe it was the Marcelo. The guy busted quickly, and I said, "We'll just pick a different one." I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was like his first hand, and that's possible. So, all right. Well, Kings, Queen 7 here, not going to be a thing. Ole's all of a sudden at the back. Heads up. Tell me about your heads up battle. Speaking of that, we're in heads up. How was the game? Was it tough? Were you a chip leader? Was it emotional? How long did it last? Give me some heads up emotion.
I was 2-1 chip lead. I played against Bruno Kowalski, really, really good Brazilian players, one of the best online reg. He plays a lot live too. I got 2-1. He had 8 millions. I had 16 millions. And the heads up went pretty quick. And I beat him. I had 40 blinds. He had 20. And I beat him in some hands. And suddenly like the blinds went up or something. That it was like 200, 400. And he had like 5 million. So he had like 12 and a half blinds. I limped King Queen suited, and he just ripped King Deuce off from the big line with 12 and a half blind. I just called, and it was over. It was a good run out for me, and yeah, it was it didn't last that much. It was just like won a couple of hands, and then like and that was the last hand, and I was like really fortunate to win it pretty quickly actually. The final table lasted like 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. It was super fast.
That's sick.
Good. Yeah, it was hyper turbo, like, and I had all the chips. Like I came into the final table with like 12 millions, 12.5, and the second had like 4.5, and all the rest had like less, like 2 millions, 3 millions. So it was pretty big chip lead. The things went my way.
For sure. We can see we're up to 8160 here, setting close to a record in length. So Nacho, I appreciate you hunkering in here today on your free time and being a guest here. I hope you're having a good time, and again, getting some studying right. It's a way to kind of lock in and get to chat and watch some of the best. I think you said you've watched a lot of Super Millions. What percent? You've seen 10 episodes, 5, 100? How many have you seen?
I watch like a lot. Like I've been watching them a lot. I really think this is this is like one of the best tools to study. So I love, kind of lazy to use. Honestly, I'm super lazy to use solvers. I used a lot solvers in PLO that I've been studying so much, but like in Hold'em, I just honestly I like Hold'em, but I mean I just more like a cash PLO player right now, you know, and like I just put time on the game that I'm playing the most. And yeah, obviously I go to the tournaments and I love it, and the fields are insane and like so much value. But yeah, if I'm gonna be playing 80% of my time PLO, I'm gonna be doing PLO, and whenever I'm playing, I just watching at these final tables. I think they're amazing. I especially watch them when there's Adamo, or like let's say Victor, or like Ole, like some really good lineups. It's just like I want to see how they play. Look at this one.
Wow.
Savage.
Oh man. Oh,
no way.
Stop it. Stop.
No
Stop
way.
it. Everyone just stop. Stop it. You're Nacho, stop it, please.
We go. Okay, bye. That was it,
That's
guys.
it, right? That's the end of the, where do you go from there on that show? There's nothing else to talk about.
And you guys doubted Fisoka, huh? You guys doubted him. Oh my God. Wow. What a beast. What a savage.
Oh my God. Wow. Want to call. I mean, he wanted to call, he's saying too. Wow.
Wow. Why didn't he shove though? I mean, yeah, I guess it's bad to shove. Wow. What a beating he's putting on all day. Oh my God. This is crazy. That hand is gonna go into the books. One of the best hands I've seen for a long time.
Wow.
What a live. This is like really what we call like the soul whip. This is it. It doesn't get more than this, guys.
Yeah, that's a crazy hand there. I mean, that's obviously there's nothing else to say. That was definitely one of the highlight hands of the GG Super Millions. We're 2 hours 40 minutes in, by the way. This is a record, at least from that I've been on the show. I mean, generally 2 hours is sort of like the most, I think. So we have seen, again, we saw it get short quickly, but that doesn't mean it's going to be short, right? Because it gets 60, 70 blinds deep with good players. And then, of course, heads up can go for a while. So I've actually had to go to the bathroom for a long time, and I kept saying, oh, it can't be that much longer. And we're getting close though, Nacho. I mean, Ole, unless Ole swings it up, he is very short right now. Although he's not someone to just wave the towel. And look at this, he's got a pair, and now Fisoka though has a hammer lock on the hand. If he can somehow get Ole to put money in, well, there's some.
Yeah, but he's gonna go check on the river all the time. He's not gonna lose that much. He lost the maximum, I think. I mean, one bet is the maximum, so yeah. So basically, he lost the maximum. Wow, what a player, Fisoka. Wow, I love it.
Well, Ole is officially on the ropes here. I mean, this is a 26-1 chip lead, ace king jack deuce.
Let's go, Ole.
Yeah, this is where it starts though. He's gonna have to hold here to be back to a million, a 12-1, 13-1 lead. If he can hold jack deuce, ace king, ace on the flop, would need runners, or else we will continue this match. Not gonna be clean turn. There we go, still going 13-1.
What a comeback. Fisoka had 2.5 millions. He has to go with this one, Rolly. Just to shove. He might get called, I was going to say.
Queen 6, jack 6. Wow. Suited. There. This is all of a sudden, it is now to the river he is going to need to hit, or else we're going to have a champion. Fisoka, ladies and gentlemen, is your champion. Ole, what a game. It looks like he had it locked up, but it's never over until it's over 302,000 going the way of Fisoka. There's a look at your final table payouts and so many massive names. Congrats to all the players today at the final table. We got to see a real special treat, Mr. or Mrs. Bradley, let's say, 21-year-old, nice score. And Nacho, any takeaways? I mean, that hand was over the top. The 10-3 suited, jack 3, the raise, re-raise. I mean, what's going on there? Break that hand down for me as we segue out of here.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, the other guy is too good. I mean, like, he came king high flop and king, I think 6-3 or something. He only bet, he calls. Then only had a gut shot, so the board was king 6-5 deuce. I'm pretty sure 2 spades. The other guy has 10-3. He went check. And the river, it was a 9 or a 10. I don't remember what he was, a 9 or a 10. So he goes bet, raise, and the other guy is like, wait, what are you representing here? Come on. I mean, what do you have? 9s? I mean, you have. I mean, he just didn't believe it. He had the blocker 3 for the straight, and like Ole wasn't representing much. And it's just like he just went for it. That was savage. That was savage.
That was sick. That's definitely gonna be in the highlight reel next week. I welcome you guys to come back on Tuesday for the Final Table Super Millions. This is season 2, episode 52. I'm Jeff Gross, Nacho Barbero there joining us. Thank you so much for your guys' time. We'll see you next week, and have a great day. Thank you. All right, bro.